On this episode of It's a Bit, we're joined by Minnesota Vikings cornerback and punt return gunner, or punting gunner. Actually, I'm going to redo that because, what do you even call that? Punt runner?
Special teams gunner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he does kickoffs too, right? Probably.
I mean, he does. I think he does. Yeah. He's just a special teams gunner.
Yeah. All right. All right, I can message Frankie back after this.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
On this episode of It's a Bit, we're joined by Minnesota Vikings cornerback and special teams gunner, Najee Thompson. Awesome interview in person talking about him being an undrafted free agent, making it through to the 53-man roster, some of the awesome kick-ass plays he had, including the one on the punt against the Bears on Monday Night Football. Super awesome look into the life of Najee Thompson. We're also going to talk Minnesota sports. Wolves are still on a heater. The Wild are back undefeated with the new coach. Gopher football somehow made it into a charity bowl game. Jake's already shaking his head. And the Vikings are coming off the bye. We're going to end the show by just giving our bits of the week as always, and just a little look under the hood, including some snowplow names that I came up with for MDOT. So all that and more on It's a Bit.
To the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop. Never stand still, that's the motto. Yeah, brand new bands for the auto. Oh, foot to the ground, full throttle. Big energy for the night like lotto. Damn, y'all talk lots, never this quiet. Life like a Seinfeld plot. Vault full of songs, all of them bombs. Something like a minefield guy. Boom. Get it, tickets running out quick. Bet it, never get it out big.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of It's a Bit presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Bossman, joined by producer Cam and journalist Jake. And fellas, we've already reached December. It's the Christmas spirit. We're recording from our St. Paul high-rise office. We'll call it a high-rise. We're high enough. And CHS Field is all lit up with Christmas decorations. St. Paul's just in general a very Christmas festive town. I'm looking over the Union Depot to the right, and that thing is all fucking lit up too. It's great vibes down here.
Not a lot of fellas out lately.
Not a lot of fellas out.
It might be too cold. They might have respawned to Los Angeles.
Jesus.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We talked about it. It's really strange where you'll see a different fella every day.
Yeah.
We're referring to
the crackheads, by the way.
Yeah, the crackheads.
There's the homeless population.
It's
probably
just
a little better term.
Yeah. I have walked home twice, so I live, like I've mentioned, an alleyway away from the new studio, and I have to go through a single alleyway. I think I took a video of one of the times where there was just trash scattered all over. That wasn't even because of a crackhead or anything, but I have witnessed in that alleyway 2 different times someone smoking. Actually, no, fentanyl. It's like a tinfoil joint, and they crush stuff up in the middle. My buddy, who's a St. Paul PD officer, told me if you ever see someone doing that in St. Paul, it's fentanyl. So I've seen 2 people do fentanyl.
Wow.
So
not die.
Those are the fellas.
Impressive.
Yeah.
They did not OD or die.
Yeah. One of the people was a girl who had a smartphone and a Bluetooth speaker too. So she clearly had enough money for both fentanyl and smart technology. But yeah, that's St. Paul. A little bit of fellas and the Christmas lights.
Yeah, we have the Christmas festival, the Euro festival down here, whatever it is, with a bunch of fantastic food. So I think St. Paul has a very big Christmas vibe compared to like Minneapolis, I feel like. But yeah, you do have the crackheads, but maybe that we need to loop that in to like the 12 Days of Christmas or something like that.
Yeah.
10 crackheads screaming.
Yep.
Something like that.
Do break dancing on the sidewalk without a shirt on.
Yeah, you could do a whole maybe St. Paul or big city Christmas, 12 Days of Christmas.
Yeah.
And apply it. And St. Paul's applicable to that.
Well, I guess starting with the Minnesota rundown, we have the Wolves. We'll give the Wolves credit where it's due. They're still winning. I mean, they've won 7 of their last 8 games, a few of them without Edwards. They haven't played with Jaden McDaniels in like 2+ weeks, one of their best defensemen. And they're still winning games against good teams. It's unprecedented. We're number 1 in the NBA right now.
It is the greatest thing ever. I look forward to Wolves games. Do you know how long it's been since that happened?
Yeah,
whole life.
Maybe Jimmy Butler, but even then it was like, we just have one player for maybe the year to kind of boost the team's morale, where we've had these players kind of developed And Anthony Edwards is a homegrown guy, in terms of through our system. So it's been fun to watch. It's been like I haven't been this excited.
I'm sorry, he's got to stop wearing the White Sox hat though.
The White Sox hat?
He's wearing it all the time. He wore it. He wore it in that podcast he did where the dude put the chicken finger in his coat. That was funny. And he wore the White Sox hat. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's kind of weird," but whatever. He can like whatever he wants. And then he was on the bench the other day, or he was either there or somewhere else, and he was still wearing the hat. It's like, okay, this isn't really a joke anymore. Like, take the fucking hat off.
Don't wear it. If you're obviously listening to this tonight, big tilt at the Target Center tonight. The 15-4 Wolves go up against the 3-16 Spurs.
Yeah, if you can shut down
3-16.
If you can shut down Wembanyama, who's 3 people in one, then you can beat that team.
How are you 3-16?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, we in Minnesota know what 3-16.
I don't think we've
like.
ever been 3-16. That's crazy.
There has to have been at least one time where we were 3-16.
From like 2006 to 2012, there had to have been 1 year where we started 3-16. Because I remember a couple times where we had 12 wins. We would go like 12-60.
And the Spurs had the number 1 overall pick, right, which was Wembanyama. It's insane. I mean, I get that that's only one guy. It's insane to still be that bad.
I know.
With the first overall pick.
In a professional league, at least.
Especially where the first 2 rounds are pretty much the entire draft, so there's not a ton of guys to choose from.
They should bring back Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Our worst, I couldn't find it on the fly, but our worst season was 2009, 2010. We matched, actually. It was 15-67.
Oh my goodness.
And then
just paying people to come in the door at that
gosh,
point.
Dude, that's why we lost fans. And people ask why we have to come around again on the Wolves is because it's like we're like still in shock that we only get 15 wins in a professional league.
Yeah, that's
after
like
Kevin Garnett era.
That's when you start saying the words "move the team."
I know.
Bad.
That there was discussions up to just a few years ago on that. Like when Alex Rodriguez was going to take over or took over.
Him and Mark Lohr.
And they adamantly said they're not moving, but that's for now. I mean, they could wake up next week. Yeah, we're going to move. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to.
No,
obviously.
No.
There's a big market here. It does suck though that the Timberwolves might be on a heater right now, but they didn't make it to the knockout stages of the in-season tournament. Oh my gosh, it's that's horrible.
That's crushing, Jake. That's
heartbreaking.
That's a dark storm cloud that foreshadows the NBA Finals. I think we're gonna. This is just further proof that we're gonna suck in the finals.
Yep.
We're a team that's not built for tournaments, Jake.
No,
Sorry, I just found it. First of all, we're not going to Vegas because we're focused on the finals. We don't give a fuck about the play-in or the in-season tournament.
You don't want to blow your wad in November.
Second of all, I did find it because I'm a good producer. 2009, 2010, we started 2-15.
Oh boy, so that's worse.
And that's with bookend wins. We won the home opener, and then we lost 15 straight.
That's what the Wild were going to try to do for a little bit there.
The Wild wanted to match.
They stopped the bleeding. They beat Florida and then just started losing every game.
Yeah, they tried to match, but I don't think you're going to ever beat that. 2-15.
Let's just take a trip down memory lane here.
Oh gosh, of like the really bad Wolves teams, the reasons why we weren't Wolves fans.
No, we're gonna look at the Wolves starting 5
at that season.
What
year was that again?
2009, 2010.
I'm not gonna know any players here.
We had Corey Brewer, college stud. Him and Joakim Noah won back-to-back championships. Johnny Flynn, who we drafted over Steph Curry. So that was good.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Something called Damian Wilkins.
That sounds like a makeup player.
Ryan Gomes, another good college player. But
he sounds like a baseball player. So does Corey Brewer. Those two should have played baseball.
And then Big Al Jefferson. Al Jefferson was the only thing that was somewhat serviceable there.
He was, but I mean, compared to other teams, he was the second guy.
You go to the bench, it doesn't get better.
Oh no, let's go to the bench.
Wayne Ellington.
Yep. Don't know what it is.
No idea.
Ryan Hollins.
I remember him.
Ryan Hollins was a very good player at UCLA, but in the NBA was brutal. Something called Brian Cardinal.
Once again, a baseball player.
It's actually Brian Cardinal's a mechanic. He's a mechanic at my job. Actually, I work with a Brian Cardinal who works on
that
cars.
might be him.
But Brian Cardinal is still a baseball name.
Yeah,
or a hockey name.
Yeah,
Ramon Sessions. He was like a journeyman point guard who never did anything. Sasha Pavlovich. Don't know.
Hockey player.
We tried to figure it out with the Russia guy. We might have been playing the wrong sport.
We actually doubled down. Alexei Pekarov.
Yes.
He plays in the NHL now. Actually,
on that
according
Russian,
to my sources.
I think we didn't know who we were drafting. To be honest with you, we were drafting from the wrong.
And last player, Jason Hart, who's actually an NBA created player. Not a real person.
He was just a default player.
So as far as I'm concerned, the Twins, the Timberwolves, and the Wild all passed each other in the hallway and ran into each other, and then they got their papers confused and drafted the wrong sport. That's what that sounds like. Everyone drafted from the wrong sport.
And their first language is not English. They probably barely spoke English, so they're like they're trying to tell the coaches that they were in the wrong sport, and they just thought they were being very enthusiastic.
Yeah, and back then, maybe the team wasn't making as much money. They couldn't afford translators, so they just assumed they were just talking some classic Russian jargon, when in all reality, they're like, where is ice?
Yeah, where is bear and ice?
Yeah, where is vodka?
I mean, how the fuck did we not relocate?
Dude, I'm shocked that we didn't, especially Seattle.
Especially when your owner's Glenn Taylor.
I know.
All right, let's move past that. We're in the new era of the Wolves.
Yeah.
This does not need to be let's rip on the Wolves time. They're fucking great. By the way, even better thing about the Wolves right now is the halftime performance they delivered last week with the inflatable crunch and inflatable mini crunch. They sang "Total Eclipse of the Heart" by Bonnie Tyler. Bonnie Tyler. She's a Canadian singer. Much better than Celine Dion.
Yeah, she's the good Canadian singer.
Yeah. I'd say a hell of a lot better of a halftime performance compared to the gymnastics guy who tried to do a handstand on 2 basketballs and ate shit. You guys saw that one last week too?
I did.
Yep.
So, this halftime show got like national credibility.
Yeah.
So, credit. Apparently the inflatable crunch thing, like I said, we're born again Wolves fans. Apparently these guys do this like all the time, and this time it caught wind nationally. So.
Because we're doing good.
I will say, even like I've been to Wolves games when they're bad. Their halftime shows are actually usually pretty entertaining. You got to do something when your stadium's an absolute dumpster fire.
And you're 2-15.
I hate the Target Center.
So yeah,
but I love the Wolves.
I will say the renovations they've done has improved it. Because like there was a point in time where I hadn't gotten to a game in like 7 or 8 years, and in that time, that's when they did the renovations, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a little improvement, but like it's still kind of trash.
It's a lot better. Upper deck at the Target Center is Narnia.
Yeah.
You can't see anything. But they did improve it enough to get the Big Ten basketball tournaments this year.
Here's a sad stat line from me is the Timberwolves are currently the best team in the NBA at what? Is it 15 and
4?
15 and 4. I've only been to the Target Center twice this fall. One time was for a Burt Kreischer comedy show, and the next was a WWE match. So it's been,
and that was before the season.
Yeah, so I guess I'm talking since playoffs. I've been there twice,
Yep.
and neither were for the Timberwolves. So we need. I know we've been saying it every fucking week. We need to make it to a Wolves game.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there twice. I was there twice within like a week at the end of July and August, and that's it. We need to get back for the reason why it's built, and that is Timberwolves games.
Right, not comedy shows in WWE.
Yeah.
Also, Timberwolves Brazil continues to unleash their ammunition of fucked up videos on the Timberwolves Twitter.
This last one was so illegal.
This last one was fucked. It was 3 fully grown Timberwolves pissing on a baby Timberwolf who was chained to a tree.
That's not okay.
Yeah, that's.
But it's Brazil, so who cares?
Let's just say this. I'll give out a nugget that only the podcast gets to hear, but I am in contact with the gentleman who runs it down in Brazil, and we're exchanging messages. So something's in the works there.
Don't get peed on.
Yeah, he seems like a very nice guy, though, from the messages we received. So, yeah, stay tuned, because it could be very interesting what we work out with this guy.
Yeah, we may or may not be trying to get him a trip to America.
Allegedly.
Minneapolis.
Can we have him make a video where it's 3 Timberwolves pissing on Jake? Chained to a tree.
It could be the big 3. It could be Cat, Rudy, and Ant, and then they're
just
pissing on the typical Wild fan who only started rooting for them when they were good, like us.
Yeah, exactly. Or me wearing the Wild Parisi jersey.
Yeah, true. Well, you deserve to get. I bet Billy G will piss on you the next time he sees you if you're still wearing that thing.
Well, I'm waiting for a jersey from him. He still needs to get me a jersey, so that's his fault.
Every time you ask him to, Jake will get you a jersey. Calm down.
Yeah, I think it's a bit, but it's funny.
You gotta say,
I'm gonna keep saying it.
You gotta say fucking chops right there, Billy. Let's go.
I know. You said
grab his hand.
I'm gonna be waiting for the new jersey.
Dad. Pull him.
Dad, come on.
Dad,
give me the jersey. Dad, don't look at me with those fucking crazy eyes.
Yeah, when he said that to you this summer.
Crazy game of hockey. I was just staring at him.
He just turns and looks at you and just goes,
jersey.
Don't fucking look at me with those crazy eyes.
Don't fucking stare at me with your eyes.
You do have some pretty intense eyes, Jake.
I know. I know. I've been told by like Chief.
It's those psychopathic thoughts that are going through.
Yeah, I know, right?
What's going on
like
there.
that, they come out through the eyes.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I have to say about the Wolves is and Timberwolves Brazil, you got to check out our very own Caden Christensen's blog on ranking their top 5 tweets that they've had. He's been going deeper in the ammo box than me, and he ranked his top 5 favorites. It's a hilarious blog. Among some of our other ones, 10ktakesmn.com. So, anything else on the Wolves you guys got?
Not much. Like I said, Spurs bad, and then they play the Grizzlies, who have won 5 games. So hopefully we should be next time we talk 17-4.
And how much longer is Ant out? He's
probably
like day-to-day, right?
Like I would sit him these next 2 games.
Yeah, why not?
And then bring him back against the Pelicans next Monday.
It still blows my mind that Jaden McDaniels has been out for 2 weeks now. And it's not that you don't notice, but it's not like we're struggling without our best defenseman.
On previous seasons, if he was gone, we would have lost almost every game.
Right.
Well, that was kind of like a little bit like last year when like Jaden McDaniels, we lost him right before the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And then Nas Reed got injured.
Punched the wall, yeah.
And then we kind of looked like we were struggling, but we still.
Hey, classic Minnesota sports team. All the good players go down right when it matters most.
Yeah, but hopefully that won't happen this year, and then we can win the NBA championship.
And hopefully, knock on wood, we continue to be the best, if not one of the best teams in the West, and we don't have to play the number 1 seed in the first round. That'd be cool.
Or just avoid the play-in tournament.
Yes.
Let's
actually,
just
you're
avoid
right.
that
Can we not do the play-in tournament this year?
It's kind of fun, to give some extra teams some, extra room to get in or whatever if they're going to miss the playoffs, but it's annoying when we're playing in it.
And it was funny to joke about being playing champions last 2 years, but I'm fucking over it. We're done.
No, I think technically we weren't the playing champion.
It's not
last
funny
year.
anymore. Well, we weren't last year, but
the year before
we
got in.
We were advancers.
We advanced.
Participants.
Yes, we were participants.
We survived and we also advanced at the same time.
Hang the banner.
It was annoying.
Yeah.
2023 play-in surviving participant.
Yeah,
There you go.
Playing survivor.
All right, let's transition to the Wild. 3-0 since Dean Evison was fired last week, and bringing in John Hynes. I think of like Heinz ketchup.
Yeah, but it's not spelled.
But it could be Hanes underwear.
Hanes underwear.
Heinz underwear.
Michael Jordan.
It is Hanes underwear.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Michael Jordan is a big Heinz guy.
The creepy fruit mascots.
Yes. Oh, that's
Yeah.
Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the
Oh,
Loom.
damn it.
But Haynes could still have a creepy mascot.
John
We don't
Hynes,
know
though,
about.
he's I said I didn't trust a bald coach, but it seems like everything's going well. I mean, Thursday, Connor Dewar had a hat trick and his 4th goal was called off. Dewey. Mm-hmm. And Rossi is centering the first line, averaging a point a game. I mean, everything's kind of coming together. The goalies are playing a lot better.
And they're doing it against good teams. Like,
Yeah.
the Blues are meh, but they always give us fits.
Yeah, they were in a
Killed
playoff
them.
spot.
Yeah, and then Nashville's actually a really good team.
Nashville's
I think they're
good.
sneaky good.
Yeah, the record's not
killed them.
great, but they have
Yeah.
a great lineup.
And then we didn't do the Wild thing. The Wild thing would have been get a
Lose
new
to
coach.
Chicago.
Yeah, get a new coach, murder the Blues, murder the
Yep.
Predators, and then lose to the Blackhawks.
That's what I was thinking was going to happen because I heard it was a sold-out game. I think it was the first home game with John Hynes, right? I think. So, everyone's hyped up. We just won our last 2 games, and I had a feeling we were just going to drop an egg, lose 4-0. But it turns out we went up we won 4-1, but we went up 4-0 at one point. We totally burned them. I just like how we're kind of torched Chicago's hopes a little bit with Bedard because they were getting a little too cocky at the beginning of the year when I think they went 1 or 2-0, and people were like, "Oh, we can get it started this year." No, you have nobody on that roster except for Connor Bedard. Sorry,
Right. And
you don't have goalie. You don't have a goalie. Nothing.
You don't even have that veteran presence anymore from Corey Perry since God knows whatever he did there.
He banged Bedard's mom.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That was the story.
That's facts.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
It's facts.
Just because he came out and said it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
We should bring Corey Perry, Connor Bedard, and Bedard's mom to the Maury Povich show and just see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they can do some sort of test or lie detector
test.
He's like, what does he do in that show? Like, you were asked if you slept with Bedard's mom. That was a lie.
That was a lie. Yeah.
You said you did not. That was a lie. Oh, that'd be great.
But yeah, I mean, the Wild are undefeated under John Hynes. It's fucking awesome.
John Hynes? Yeah, the bald coach is, I hope it's just not like some just new guy hype, when you bring in a new coach, because back in I think this is the first time in a while that we've had hired or fired and hired a coach in the season, except for I think it was in 2018 when we fired Boudreau, or no, we fired Yo, and then we have that Torchetti. He was the interim coach, and we were .500 out of a playoff spot in January, February, and then Torchetti came in, this interim coach, he's the assistant coach, and we went off. We're the hottest team in the NHL, made the playoffs, lost in the first round, but I hope it's not like this. We're like, oh, now we're hot, for a season or like for a month or two. But, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to be super negative and think of the worst, but.
No.
But
also, also in the Wild news, Ryan Hartman loves the troops. So I don't know if you guys
Big
saw.
troops guy.
There was a tweet from Colonel U.S. His name is just Colonel, USAF, he said, what point in his life did Edmund Wild forward Ryan Hartman make a conscious decision to become a living piece of human exertment? It wasn't while he was playing for the NHL Blackhawks, #Blackhawks. Ryan Hartman responds to this guy and just says, thank you for your service.
Beautiful.
So Ryan Hartman loves the troops.
Yep.
He just got that nice haircut. He got his beard shaven. He's back in the lineup. I mean, he loves the troops. I don't know what else to say.
He's looking damn smooth. And what other player in the NHL is putting a thank you on Twitter to the
Especially
troops?
when someone is saying that he is attempting to be human shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Human
thank you
trash,
for your service.
human waste, whatever the word exertment means. I had to Google that one.
Yeah.
But
it's a big word.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to have everything kind of coming together at once. I mean, obviously, we'll get into the Vikings, but the Wolves are the best team in the NBA. The Wild are on the up and up. It's looking like we're going to have a little bit more, better vibes spread across the Minnesota sports landscape.
I think it's getting a little better. I think we weirdly expected the Wild to pick it up like this, whether Dean Evison was still the coach or not. I think we expected that this is what they do. They start off cold and then they always find a way to pick it up and be the hottest team in the NHL. So, and that's what they're doing. They're playing good hockey. Everything's clicking. The guys that should be doing stuff are doing stuff. You almost wanted to poke them with a stick, like do something, like guys like Kirill and Boldy. Now they're actually doing it. So maybe it just takes the power of the baldness or something. I don't know.
I saw this interesting tweet by Johnny Lazarus. It said, describe your favorite NHL team's season start in 5 words or less. I said, Marco Rossi is a guy. How would you guys do the season in 5 words so far?
Oh shoot. 5-word season to describe the season so far. I was thinking like John Hynes. John Hynes might be no.
I got mine.
Good. John Hynes might be good. He might be a good coach.
Well, I was gonna say might be a guy, but that's 6 words.
Oh yeah. Just say Hynes might be a guy.
Hynes might be a guy. Hynes ketchup.
Mine is disappointing but not dead yet.
Correct. That's a good one.
That is a good one. You could do. I don't know if this is 5 words. Excruciatingly, typically mediocre Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, that's 5.
Yeah, this is we're just mediocre. Mediocrity.
Does that have correct grammatical structure though, Jake?
Excruciating mediocrity. The Minnesota Wild are excruciatingly mediocre.
There you go.
Yes, let's do that.
That's good.
This season has been excruciatingly mediocre.
This season has
If I get rid of this and people understand.
I wonder how expensive tickets were Sunday because they were dropping drastically, and then Hynes joined and we started winning. Are they expensive again?
Let me look.
We might have missed our window.
Talk about that story with the tickets.
To basically go for free. Wait, what story?
Remember Wags' brother?
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to talk about it. So
yeah, tell it now.
Oh, goodness. So my female cousin moved from Wisconsin here just recently, like a few months ago, right? And we kind of started as a little bit of a joke a few weeks back. Like we gave her, Gavin, Wags' brother's number because they're around the same age. And he started messaging
Wait,
her.
really quick, Cam, you haven't heard this story, have you?
No.
This is
on the edge of my seat.
This is incredible.
Dude, this was insane. So I guess they actually started talking a little bit, and this was a few weeks ago when we gave her his number. And this week we linked back up and we were hanging out at a bar or something. And she told me that, yeah, he left me on red like last Sunday. And so I texted his ass, Wags' brother, like, you fucking left her on red. What the fuck are you doing? Just trying to fuck with them? And he's like, oh, I'll text her right now. And I think that was like on Saturday. And he calls me and he's fucking hammered and all that. He's like, should I buy tickets to the Wild game? I'm gonna buy her tickets to the Wild game. I'm just gonna buy them. Send her a screenshot, and she doesn't want to go. I'm gonna buy them. I'm like, okay. The game's at. He asked me what time the game was. It was at. I'm like 1 p.m. This was later on Saturday night. The game's at 1 p.m. right? And I wake up. I wake up to text from my cousin saying he bought tickets and he thought the game was at 7 p.m. And she showed me screenshots that he sent her of his receipt that he bought the tickets. I bought these tickets and everything. So we bought and they were expensive at this point when I was looking at. He probably paid $150 per ticket. Aww. Didn't go to the game. He thought the game was at 7 and he called me too at like 2 in the morning when I was around 1 or 2 in the morning when I was on my way back to my place. He's like, I fucking bought him. I'm going to buy him, blah, 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 blah. So he was plastered when he bought him. And then he wakes up the next day saying, I can't go. I thought the game was at 7. And he bought the tickets and everything. And then he was saying that day, we can go Thursday. Dude, they're in Vancouver Thursday.
You're going to dear.
So he's trying to
But at least though he showed a gesture to her that he wanted to do something with her.
I made sure he didn't ghost her.
He could have done that for less than $275.
He did stand her up technically. Dear Gavin.
You're trying to play something? You blew it. But
yeah,
dude,
you fucked that one up.
But dude, it's like, how do you pay for these expensive tickets against the Blackhawks, a matinee day game or whatever? And you just say you buy tickets and just the next day, I can't. I thought the game was at 7. I can't go. And then he's just like, we'll go Thursday. And no, they're not here. They're in Vancouver. So that whole ordeal, like into Saturday and the Sunday and this weekend was just hilarious. And from me just kind of jokingly getting on his ass, you haven't texted her in a week, you dick. Ghosted her, I'll text her right now, and then it just turns into him buying tickets for a very expensive game at 1 p.m. that he didn't even go to.
Yep.
So
what a dummy.
Dude, it's hilarious, though.
That's
it's
the most
funny.
Gavin thing ever. Didn't he lose his wallet in Vegas?
Twice
like
at
3
the same,
times?
same place.
Yeah, 2 or 3. He's a good guy.
He's the best.
I kept telling my cousin, he's a good guy. He has good intentions, but he just buys tickets to a game he didn't even go to. And it just fucks up everything. So, but it's the gesture, or the action that counts, I guess. The effort that counts.
It's the thought that counts.
The thought that counts. Generally. That's what I was trying to get at. So you put in the effort, swing and a miss, but you'll have another at bat, I guess.
Well, the Twins, I think they led the league in strikeouts this year, and they made it to the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, so he could try to get into my family still. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That would be hilarious if Jake and Gavin were related by marriage.
And then that would be Zane too.
Zane could be guilty by association. He could show up too.
It just started as it was just funny how it just escalated to that. I thought it was just going to be a couple messages exchanged this past weekend, but no, it just turned into that whole ordeal.
So is she going to give him another chance? We need the dirt here, Jake.
I don't know.
You should text her.
I will get the scoop on that by next week.
Report to us next week.
I'll maybe report back.
What's her name?
My cousin?
Yeah.
Hallie.
We need to know. Hallie?
Hallie.
We need to know if Hallie is giving Gavin another chance next week on War of the Roses.
I would think. The dude spent $200
Dude, he had to have.
We need to get Dave Ryan involved.
But apparently, what's funny too is when I woke up the next morning, she sent me a text around 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Oh my gosh, she sent this to me last night. It was 2:33 in the morning of the ticket stubs. We're going to the game tomorrow. Dude.
Just doesn't even ask if she can. We're going to the game tomorrow.
That's why he called me. He's like, I'm just going to fucking buy him and just pull the trigger and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, man.
He pulled the trigger on himself.
Yeah, and I guess she was saying that she was saying she would maybe want to go, but it was kind of she's caught off guard, because it's so random. But it's funny because, she's just seeing this as a funny situation, but we can see Gavin because we've been to Vegas with him and everything. We just know how he is. And we've golfed with him. And we just can't even imagine him just staring at his phone at 2 a.m. I'm buying these fucking tickets.
Just pulls out his credit card.
Jeez, I'm going on a date tomorrow. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Game starts in less than 12 hours.
Literally, I told him it was 1 p.m. Right? I think so.
You want to come back to my place?
Yeah. I don't know.
His dad and his mom in the dining room.
Just wags his parents.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a good.
Bless his heart.
But thoughtful guy.
Well, the Vikings are off a bye, so
yeah.
Vegas week. Speaking of Vegas week.
I think Mike Brown's going down there. Isn't
Yep.
Mike Brown is
MILF Mike is
going
going to find some
Mike.
MILF Vikings fans. in
Him and his
Vegas.
dad
Yes,
are taking on
boys.
Vegas.
Him and his dad. Just
Oh,
a couple
wow.
guys who like older women. Let's go.
he? Yeah. Yep. I mean,
His dad is
technically,
happily married.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But doesn't change. Yeah.
Because she's an older woman, so technically he likes older women.
Yeah.
He's married. He's committed to one. Mike does too, though. So
You guys have met Mike's parents?
yes, very nice.
I think
The
once,
best
yeah,
people
very,
ever.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, very nice
They're-
people.
I
Very kind.
ran into them at McHugh's, actually.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, it was me and you.
Yeah.
But no, Mike's taking on Vegas. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. The whole game's going to be interesting. Who's playing at quarterback? Is it like a coin flip?
They're
So-
going to announce it the day this drops. I'm pretty sure Wednesday.
I think it'll be Dobbs.
I think
probably
it's
be
going to be
Dobbs.
Nick Mullins.
You think so? Big Dick Nick
I don't know, man. I mean,
coming off the back injury.
They see that's the thing. It's the injury perspective. I think the
whatever he
injury
did.
aspect is what would hold him back. But I mean, he's been on the team the longest. He hasn't. I guess really haven't had a chance to fully prove himself. He's, I think, the closest thing to Kirk on the team, but he's obviously not as good as Kirk.
Like a more
This
pocket
might-
presence.
He's just a slower Kirk.
This
Yeah.
might
in a way.
not make sense, but in the interview we have coming up on this episode, because foreshadowing is a great thing.
Oh.
Najee Thompson, the way he kind of talked about it, he basically just said we have to stop turning the ball over and we'll be fine. It kind of like, maybe I'm not reading it right, but it kind of made me seem like we're just going to stick with Dobbs. We're just going to clean up some things. I feel like he might not have said that if they were going to move on from him, but
Well, then again, but we have been turning it over a lot, and he was saying like we got to stop turning the ball over, and Dobbs has turned the ball
yeah,
over.
He's
and
done it every game.
I think also two of those interceptions, obviously not his fault. So I
No, I know.
I think they'll give him another chance. This might be it. If you don't
But he
perform
can't
against
do
Aiden
that.
O'Connell, like then there's a
Yeah,
problem.
I guess I wouldn't be totally surprised if they run with Dosh Jobs. But I really want to see our big dick Nick. If
Right.
Nick Foles can win a Super Bowl, Nick Mullins can win a Super Bowl.
You know what I hate?
Kirk Mullins.
I'm a really big optimist, as you guys know. I think we're gonna lose.
You think we're going to lose against the?
I think
I wouldn't be shocked.
I think we won't be able to stop Josh Jacobs. Devontae Adams is gonna eat us up like he always has, and Max Crosby is an actual problem.
Yeah, he's a scary dude.
And I don't know off the top of my head if Darisaw is going to be on him the whole time. If Darisaw's on him, I feel a little bit better, but it doesn't matter. Like, Crosby is insane, and that's going to be a problem.
But we lost to the Bears 12-10 at home. So
Yeah,
At
that's
this
the
point,
concerning
anything's
part.
on the table.
Yeah, I think we might.
Aiden O'Connell, the
Going back to the
Purdue guy.
Going back to the quarterback situation, people forget that Jaron Hall is just lurking around.
Yeah,
True.
I mean, I feel
He had
so bad for him.
He had one drive and it was pretty damn good.
and then he just got
yeah.
knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got knocked out, near the end zone. But he looked good. He looked calm and poised. And now you got Justin Jefferson back.
That's
Come on,
right.
dude! I keep forgetting JJ's going to
Yeah.
be back. I mean, but how much is he going to play? Are they going to fully? I feel like you got to just fucking play him.
I think he'll fully play. That's probably why
Yeah.
it took a while, because
Yeah.
he probably could have came back against Chicago.
I thought he could have came
Fuck
back.
it. At this point, let's
What?
throw Kirk's name in the mix.
Yeah.
He can crawl now.
I forgot to bring up on the podcast last week, but I think there was like a tweet out that gave options of quarterback after Dobbs threw his third interception. And like one of the options you could vote on was Kirk on one leg.
Yeah.
And people were like, at this point, fuck it. There's got to be some way we can do that in 2023.
Or put him in that little scooter he was driving out of the grocery store.
Yeah.
Maybe you could throw him in that. He could still probably move around the pocket in that thing. He's gonna have to throw the ball a little higher to get it over the defensive line.
I hate it because
Yeah.
obviously I'm a Vikings fan. I want them to do good, and I want Dobbs to do good. But God, I kind of love it. Like all the people that hate Kirk. How do you feel now?
Well, dude, I was saying that last week at the Monday night game, and I don't want to see. I'm not these Kirk haters are living delusional fucking
we
Narnia
want them to
where we want
lose.
them to lose. No, I'm not saying that. I want Dobbs to do well, but I was saying back as Wags and I were at the Chargers game. I have never heard. I knew that our Vikings fans were toxic, but I haven't heard the toxicity that bad. Every Vikings fan around us, we had no Chargers fans around us. They were talking shit about Kirk the entire fucking game. When he made an incredible throw where he was off his back foot, the ball was maybe an inch slightly behind Justin Jefferson, but it was like a 4th and 4 conversion for a 30-yard pass. The guy had the audacity behind me to say the ball was a little behind him.
God.
And the guy to the left of me, I think it's time we start tanking for Caleb Williams. This Kirk's not working. The whole fucking time they were just talking shit. And I want to know where those fucking people are now.
So there's a guy that has season tickets as well, sits a couple rows behind me, and he shits on Kirk all the time.
Drives me fucking nuts.
Like when Kirk was playing, it would drive me insane. I didn't say anything to him because I'm not going to fucking start a fight.
With your own fan.
Yeah, even if it wasn't our own fan, I just don't do that.
I know.
But the Monday night game that you guys were at too, but obviously on the opposite side of the stadium, Dobbs threw a ball to the flat. It was the only read. It was the literal play design, actually. And the guy's just like, oh, come on, don't do that. That's a Kirk move. I'm like, dude.
Oh, you can't say that.
You're an actual moron. You're not even worth my time, but it still makes my blood boil.
People like our Vikings fan that don't see that he's like like at the Chargers game, like he would get sacked in like 2 seconds. Yep, that's why we need a mobile quarterback. It's like, what? Shut the fuck up. And that first interception that Dobbs had, where he was trying to lay it into a little pocket that I think was his fault. Kirk makes those throws almost 9 out of 10 times.
Right.
Yeah. And guys like that sit in your section cam, they don't understand it. They don't see that. For whatever reason, they're still blinded by the contract of 2018. I don't know what it is, but they don't think he's a good I don't know why.
When Dobbs threw that pick, when he floated the ball to Addison, a bad decision, right? Yeah. The guy said something along the lines, like I'm paraphrasing, he was like, I kind of give Dobbs prop. Kirk never would even have thought to throw that.
Dude.
Not true.
Kirk would have threw that.
Kirk would have threw a missile.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
fucking idiots.
The pass where Addison was out of bounds because he.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kirk would have made that. That was 7 points.
That'd been an easy throw for Kirk. Like
yeah.
Dobbs, like I know you're under pressure, like that particular play, but like he had to step in the pocket. But like, bro, like that's a throw that Kirk makes every time.
And this is terrible. This whole conversation is the Kirk haters' fault because we shouldn't even be having this argument of Kirk versus Dobbs. But people are making the comparison.
Yeah,
because they hate Kirk that much. It's such bullshit.
They're bringing it up. Like I don't want to have to be like, yeah, this is why Dobbs is worse than Kirk because I want him to do well. I like Dobbs to an extent. I think he does bring a little difference to the style of quarterback, from the mobility standpoint. But when people are bringing this shit up, it's like, okay, we need to get down to the brass tacks here and understand here that Kirk is a fucking great quarterback, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league that we've ever had with the Vikings, and people still don't seem to get they can't get their head out of their ass. I don't know what they expect here in Minnesota. Like those people are going to live long, very painful lives.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up.
We'll see what happens in Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Jake. Except crabs, what is it? Except herpes. That shit'll come home with you.
And AIDS. And fentanyl, maybe.
Your fentanyl, fellas.
You might not make it home.
They spawn from Vegas.
Yeah. Don't. And make sure you cover your drinks or watching your drink. Don't get drugged down there.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah.
So be careful.
It could happen from a guy you're with, like Alan.
Yeah.
From The Hangover.
Yep, exactly. So you got to be careful, or someone's going to try to cut your hand and try to make you blood brothers.
Yeah.
Like in Hangover.
Yeah.
So don't run into those people.
No.
Or don't stay away from the mole people. There's underground tunnels down there,
Right.
And it's not like a conspiracy.
Jason Zucker confirmed.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit that can happen.
There's fucking people down there. I think, yeah. Great.
Last topic before we get into our interview with Najee Thompson, speaking of the Vikings, is the Gophers. The Gopher football team has made a bowl game. Here we go from Brett McMurphy. Bowling Green and Minnesota will play in the Quick Lane Bowl, sources told the Action Network HQ. Kickoff is December 26th, which is a Tuesday at 2 p.m. on ESPN. Unfinished business. Bowling Green is the team that beat us in homecoming. We probably paid $500,000 to play that team in 2021. They embarrassed us at home. I don't even think the game was close.
No.
And now we're playing them in the Quick Lane Bowl, which I think the Gophers have played in before.
They did
twice.
Yeah.
They played it in. I think they played in 2017 against Georgia Tech, right?
Yep.
And then 2015 when they were 5-7 against Central Michigan.
And that was when we also got in because of athletics.
Because of academics.
Academics. 2017 we got in at 6-6. I will say though, like the matchup against Georgia Tech, that I feel like that should have been like a different bowl game.
Did we lose that?
I think we won.
Yeah, we did.
We did beat
Are we
Georgia
so-
Tech, but Georgia Tech wasn't bad that year. So, but yeah, we're back. I this was my biggest fear. I talked about this a few weeks ago.
What 2 years were those? I'm gonna look if we undefeated.
It was either 20. Oh no, wait. It was 20. It was either 2017 or 2018 that we were in the Quick Lane Bowl.
2018 Quick Lane Bowl.
It was 2018.
The Minnesota Gophers received and accepted a bid to the Quick Lane Bowl. The Golden Gophers entered the bowl at a 6-6 record.
I got it.
So we won that one 34-10.
Oh yeah.
And then Central Michigan, we won 21-14.
So we're undefeated in the Quick Lane Bowl, fellas.
I guess.
I think this is a lock.
It could be.
Is
but
the New Hampshire kid gonna? Oh, and it's gonna.
No,
that's right.
he
It's
can't
gonna be
play.
Adam Weber, or not Adam Weber. Fucking A.
Cole Kramer.
Now we're really going back. Adam Weber. That'd be
Weber.
cool.
Eric
though.
Decker's starting too.
That'd
Eric
be fucking
Decker.
sick.
Adam Weber should be the Vikings quarterback.
I'm doing MILF Mike is the aforementioned MILF Mike, not Milk Mike.
Milk Mike.
Is betting on every bowl game this year. I'm gonna do it as well. I'm not gonna
He's got to relax.
do like I'm not gonna do like a graphic like he does, and I'm probably not gonna tail all of his picks. But I'm torn. I think I might be betting on Bowling Green because I hate to shit on a student athlete, but Cole Kramer's not it.
Dude, Cole Kramer, I think he's from Eden Prairie. You know, God bless the guy. You
better
know,
be careful.
hometown
It's
guy.
where you live now, Jake.
It is, so maybe he'll
They'll
come
come
after
get
me.
you.
But he's not good. I mean, because I seen him play. Like the North Carolina game was atrocious. Like my eyes almost burned out watching him try to throw a football. And then I know he's come in and played a couple of years before that here and there, and he's just not it. I think he might be the only quarterback left on the roster. So
We have
gotta play
a
him.
walk on.
Play him. Like I said,
you
just play
have to.
Jordan Newman at quarterback and Darius Taylor or vice versa.
Just do the triple threat option.
Do a triple threat option, do some Navy Army shit. You know,
Yeah.
I don't care. That'll give us a better chance at probably winning. But
Throw
yeah.
Dragon catches at quarterback.
Yeah. Try it or just kick
Have
field
him-
goals
have
the
him
entire
punt the
time.
ball.
I am that Gopher game's gonna be very depressing. Probably not gonna watch it. Honestly, I gotta work during that time. Because Tuesday at 2 p.m. you could tell where we rank.
Well, yeah, dude. Here's the worst thing about that timing of the game. Christmas is over. The day after Christmas is one of the worst and most depressing days of the year. And then at 2 p.m. you have to turn on your TV and watch the Golden Gophers play football against a team in the MAC.
Yeah.
I know.
That's tough. That just made that day so much worse. I'm gonna watch the game, but I'm not gonna be happy about it.
I am very pumped, though. You probably saw me spam Twitter. My Liberty Flames made the Fiesta Bowl. It's going to be fucking lit.
Cam, I don't give a fuck.
Did you see?
That's going to be fun.
Did you see the graphic? They were ESPN even posted it. If we had the 12-team playoff this year, Liberty would have gotten in at the 12 seed.
Because they were the G5
Yeah.
Because
They were-
Tulane lost to SMU. Liberty shit pumped everyone
Dude.
they played, except the
Yeah.
championship game was close. The Fighting Jerry Kills, they did a thing.
Fighting Jerry's.
But yeah, no, we got Oregon.
Dude.
That'll be interesting.
Dude, I am so excited to have a team like that in the college football playoff, just to go
I
in and
know.
try to.
Yeah,
I
dark
honestly
horse.
think. Well, I heard a lot of people having conversations. I think Barstool was talking about it. They're that team is never going to make it to the national championship. I
wrong.
beg to differ. I beg to differ.
If Jamie Chadwell stays, which he actually might
Yeah.
not, even though he's only been there 1 year, and also Caden Salter, their quarterback's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
If both of them stay, this team might be in the playoff next year.
I was going to say I think a team could for sure beat the 5 seed because I think that 12 seed they'd be the 12 seed, that non-power 5 team that's highest ranked that wins
Yep.
their conference championship gets in at the 12 seed. I think they could easily beat that 5 seed, upset them. I don't know. It's like college basketball. You see parity all the time. We haven't been able to see that in college football yet.
I just hope that they beat Oregon and bury Bo Nix forever.
Yeah.
Bo Nix is still playing.
Oh gosh, dude, that's gonna be actually a fun bowl game.
Jake, I saw you had the hoops tidbit when we're on the topic about the Gophers.
Oh yeah, Gopher Hoops tidbit. I'm still working with Phil and Minners to get him in on a show. I tried to get him in this week.
This has been an outrageously long wait. What have they been doing?
I don't know.
They're
I don't know.
scared.
But I think Phil actually just messaged me something
can't
now.
handle
But
it.
I'll look at that later. But I'm gonna have to do the Gopher Hoops tidbit if they're not on. But yeah, they lose their first conference game to Ohio State on Sunday. Yeah, they didn't look good.
What was
They
the
came
score?
back a little bit. They lost by 10.
Okay.
Which is an improvement from last year where they would have lost by probably. Well, they beat Ohio State last year at Ohio State.
They did.
But Ohio State is better this year.
I got a bone to pick.
Yeah.
Our own guy, Jamison Battle, first of all, went
Yeah.
off. Second of all, mean mugged our whole
I know.
bench. I was like, dude.
He literally got in a tussle and hook and hold with fucking Dawson Garcia, and they were buddies. Don't do that shit.
The NIL, it's ruining sports, Jake.
I know. It's pissing me off.
Fun fact, Gopher Hoops, the last 25 Big Ten conference games, 2-23.
Nice. That's
I
very
think,
fantastic.
Jake, that's 2 better than 0.
Ben
Hey.
Johnson's gone, right?
Hey, well, tonight, the day the podcast is released, they do play Nebraska.
Are you going to
at
have it
home.
on?
Oh, I'll be watching it.
Jake, I'll have it on too. Ben Johnson gone. If this keeps up, it's got to be.
Yeah, if
There's
they
a
don't,
prime
if
guy
they go
out
like
there,
0-5 in conference play, he's got to be gone. He's got to be gone. But then I don't know. You're in your third year. If he goes
He's gone.
What you say? We're 2-25 in conference play in the last how many games? Yeah, he's gonna be gone.
2-23 in the last 25 games.
Yeah, he's gone.
There's a perfect guy out there though.
Oh.
Minnesota born. Have you been looking at the Colorado State Rams? Top 10 team in the nation. They're unbelievable. Nico Medved, you're a gopher.
Oh.
That's what I
Well,
want.
I
Fire
don't
Ben,
know.
get it out. End the misery, dude. I can't. It's so bad.
Well, we'll see. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
He gets the
You never
full
know.
year.
Yeah. They might bring
might
him the
not.
whole year. I don't know. If they start like 0-10, they're going to fire him. I mean, before that, if they're like 0-5 and they're trending that way, they're going to fire him.
Well,
There's no way they just won't. I don't know.
Jake, remember last year when we watched the broadcast? I think it was the Big Ten tournament. Maybe it was the FS1 broadcast where they were on the sideline, and he was in the huddle talking to the players, and you were kind of back in on him. You're like, it sounds like he knows what he's doing. Like maybe he's not a bad coach.
I
Like
know.
maybe this whole thing will turn around.
Because I think we ended up winning that game. I think
that was the Ohio State game
Jake.
last year.
So I'm like, okay,
Was that
wow,
the one win they got in the conference?
Yeah,
That was the buzzer beater, right? Jameson Battle?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
No, I don't think it was a
No.
buzzer beater, but it was
Didn't
close.
Battle had a buzzer beater at home.
They blew.
Against
I think.
the conference
Well, didn't they blow a lead
That
in
was
that game?
against who did they win in that game? Who did they beat? Was that
was-
Penn State or something?
Fuck.
Oh, was that? Yeah, I remember.
Could've
I was
been- no, it
super
was
hyped.
Rutgers because it was the headband guy,
It was,
right?
yeah. It was Rutgers, but I think we were like 1-13 at that point.
Yeah.
But still, it was a fun game
Jake-
to watch.
The Big Ten tournament, Jake and I just got aggressively excited for it. I think we hugged after we won. Like, we were that pumped.
Oh, was that in the Big Ten tournament?
No. But I'm saying when we watched the Big Ten tournament and we actually won a game in it.
Oh yeah,
Remember
last
how
year.
excited we
Yeah.
were?
Well, then we were saying survive and advance.
Dude, that year
that lasted.
that was a bit.
They did,
that was
they
a
did
good
not
bit.
survive nor
I
advance.
broke the window
Dude, the
because
year
of Gopher
before-
basketball.
The year before, though, I remember I was really pissed off because I thought our record really didn't reflect how good we were because we were so injured. It was Patino's last year, and we almost beat Ohio State in like the second round of the
Yeah.
tournament. Like by a point, we were down by like 13 with like a minute to go, and we had Marcus Carr and fucking Kelsher just came back. I was actually like depressed for 2 days because I'm like, this team deserves to
Oh,
be
that
in
was
the
2 years
tournament.
ago now. Or that was 3 years ago now,
Was that
actually.
3 years ago? Oh yeah, because this is Johnson's third year. You're
Yeah.
right. That pissed me. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, whatever. Enough Gopher hoops tidbits.
Jake, what's the tidbit on Gopher hockey? They lost to Penn State 6-3.
Yeah, they split the series to Penn State. You know, okay, you split a series to Penn State, great, but why do you lose 6-3 in one of the games? That's horrible. That's
Saturday
horrendous.
night?
This is really upset too because I think they played here, and too like the Frozen Four is going to be at the Xcel Energy Center. The Gophers got to be in that game. They have to be. And or in the Final Four of college hockey. So and it's
There's a
I'm
chance.
They might not.
They just got to make the tournament, and you never know.
Yeah, you just got to
Yeah.
get in. But there's a chance, Jake. There is a chance that North Dakota plays the Gophers in the national championship. Could you imagine that at the X?
At the X?
How
Dude.
electric that would be.
St. Paul would light on
That
fire.
would be insane. That would be the closest thing we would see to like a Stanley Cup type vibe.
Yeah, it would
in
be.
St. Paul.
We might not have an office anymore. It could come all the way down to Lower Town.
Yeah, no, there'll just
Set
be
up
a
lanes.
fire that will
We'll
spread.
know we'll all be fellas. We'll all be fucking shooting stuff.
Well, yeah, we're shooting stuff up into our bodies.
Yep.
Yeah, everything depending on. Well, whether we win or lose, we're going to celebrate in some way and get intoxicated.
Yeah.
Whether that's alcohol for some people, fentanyl for others. You know, to each their own. You know, so.
We don't condone.
Do not condone.
not
But
condone
no,
that behavior.
so I mean the Gophers are only ranked 10th now.
Yeah. So they're getting close to that bubble of the NCAA tournament because there's only 16 teams that get entered. So.
Good thing Justin Close stayed, huh? How bad would they be if they didn't have him or Snuggerud still?
Yeah, I know. Well, Snuggerud left, didn't he?
No, I think he still plays,
Snuggie?
right?
I thought he declared went
Snuggerud
out.
plays.
In the middle of the season?
No.
Jake,
Jake, he scored that epic game winner against St. Thomas.
Oh yeah, right.
You-
I'm an idiot. I'm
you
thinking
al-
of someone else.
You almost split with them too if you don't
thinking of-
recall.
You're thinking of Cooley.
So yeah, well, I thought it was Cooley and Nyes that left.
And then there's
There was a third guy that was not going to stay, but then he left too.
Well, Cooley was the one that was going
Cooley
to stay.
left in July.
Then who's the other two? I swear there was 3 guys that went to the NHL.
Well,
Brock Faber.
Oh, well, Faber, I guess, but like at the end of the maybe I'm thinking of Faber.
Snuggerud still plays. Like I said,
Yeah.
you almost split with St. Thomas if it weren't for
I know.
Snuggerud.
And that game was at the X too.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I would have went.
So,
Fuck.
Jake, you need to figure out what's going on with your hockey program there.
I got to figure out what's going on with your team.
Yeah.
Your team.
Oh, was it Jackson Lacombe? Or was it
Oh, yeah.
has he been more than
Oh.
1 year?
He went to the Ducks.
That's who I'm thinking of because I thought Lacombe was supposed to stay,
Well, he was a senior, right?
but he said he was going to
Oh,
stay.
because he had the COVID year.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
and
knew
then
there
he-
was a guy.
Lacombe, but then Cooley was the one that like actually said he was going to stay and announced it and then backed out. on it.
In July, he backed out.
Yeah. So Cooley,
Don't really blame him.
whatever. No, he's doing okay down in
He's crushing it.
Arizona.
Playing with our
The
friend
Nyes
Jason Zucker
in Toronto.
and Matt Dumba.
Yep. Dumbs.
Yeah.
I guess it's not going well for Dumba down there.
Yeah, that's all right.
Whatever.
At least he's in the desert.
In other news, grass is green.
Yep, exactly. Sky's blue.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll get to our interview with Vikings cornerback Najee Thompson.
If you want to get in on some actions with sports more than just watching it, well, I want to tell you about the easiest way to do that. It's the Underdog Fantasy and their Pick'em game. So just pick higher or lower on your favorite or least favorite player stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Yes, 20 times your money. So Underdog keeps it super simple. It's super fun with their easy-to-use website and mobile apps. You can pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry, get every pick right, and take home some cold hard cash. They even have boosters on there as well, where you can win even more winnings on there if you pick a certain player's stats correctly. So use the code 10K10K on sign up and get your first deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog. That's right, up to $100 doubled by Underdog when you sign up using the code 10K10K. So once again, that's code 10K, 10K on the Underdog app, or go to www.underdogfantasy.com to begin playing today.
All right, welcome back to It's a Bit, folks. We're joined by a very special guest. We got Najee Thompson, current cornerback for the Minnesota Vikings. You've probably seen him make some unreal plays on the punt return. And I think the first Viking in the new studio. But Najee, thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah. Such an honor to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Not humble at all.
It's an honor.
Yeah,
It should be an honor, damn it. No, but we were talking before the the episode. We've had obviously Christian Darrisaw on, but he was in our old house that we always joked about that we bought, but we didn't. So you're in our official studio space that makes us look official, I should say.
Does it look professional to you?
It looks like guys have a lot of fun in here, honestly.
We do.
I mean, our picture back here just felt like we said when you came in here, and we're already damaging this wall, allegedly.
Oh, yeah,
So,
dude. We've only been in here for 2 months, and I can tell you there's a war zone hiding behind all these decorations. A few attempts where, you didn't use the stud finder and you fucked up the wall or something, so it's been a process.
We're not going to get the security
No,
deposit back.
that was gone day one.
Yeah, we already come to terms with that, and we're like, we're going to do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah. Well, really quick, I know it's kind of a little late to say it, but congrats on making the 53-man roster despite, being undrafted free. I mean, I got to imagine, like, that's a big achievement when, you go undrafted and you make a team.
Yeah, I mean, the whole undrafted process it's literally a headache because when you first come in, and for me, it was really a headache because I'm doing my pro day training and everything, and I'm hitting nothing but four threes the whole time running. And I mean, a lot of the guys say, you're running that on your training and stuff, like at pro day, you're not getting that. Like, no matter what you do, you're not getting it. And so I was like, no, I'm gonna get that. And so, like, I do the pro day, and we had some guys in the front, they had me at a certain time, like 4 threes, 4 fours, and then some guys had me at like a 4.6, and it's just like they average it together. So then the whole stigma was like, oh, he runs a 4.6. And that was another big thing, like when I was talking to Jacksonville, the whole process, I think their main guy, Chris Claybrooks, I think it might have been his name, but he ended up getting arrested. He was one of their best gunners. He ended up getting arrested and everything, so they kind of like parted ways with him. So like talking through that whole process, and then they come watch pro day and stuff like that. And I guess they didn't like the 40 time because on the East Coast at that time, like, it was raining, the wind conditions was horrible, and so they had us run against the wind and try to go with the wind, but it wasn't really going anything with the wind. It was just horrible running against the wind, so times are going to be slow regardless.
They should put you guys inside for that regardless.
Well, that's what we were hoping.
That's insane.
A controlled environment.
Yeah, we were hoping to get down to the Mercedes Dome to, go in there, but I think the scouts wanted to go to Tybee Island for that weekend, so it was such a mix-up. So they were like, the pro day, I guess they didn't like that, so they wasn't talking about draft and stuff like that. So I was just like, you know what, I'm fine with testing water somewhere else. Like,
yeah.
I'm not really interested in, really going there, but it's like, you kind of don't say that for undrafted free agent. You kind of just take your opportunity. But for undrafted, another thing is you want to take the best opportunity. Sometimes it's okay to say no because you don't want to go into a bad situation and then you don't have a chance to make a 53.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So did you have other offers then besides the Vikings?
So I first started off talking to the Raiders. I thought I was 100% going to be a Raider. So that's what makes this upcoming game really personal now.
It's a revenge game. Let's
Yeah.
go.
And then I really thought I was actually gonna go to Seattle, but then Seattle didn't offer nothing. Like they didn't offer like no even small signing bonus or nothing. So it's like he told me he's like I'm his number one gunner on his board, but it's like you're not really offering me nothing. So like how much value do I really bring to you? So at that point it was like I'd already said I'm either gonna go to the Raiders or the Vikings, just based off how special teams coaches are rolling, how aggressive he was regardless. So as I told my agent, I said I don't want no other calls if it's one of these two teams, and that's just what I was banking on. And so then after like 30 minutes after the draft, they called me and it was like, "You're a Viking," and it was like,
Sweet.
Here
There we go. Skull, baby.
Oh yeah,
Well, I was gonna say, like, even as an undrafted free agent, you know your worth. You know what you can bring to the table. You know, even if you didn't get quote unquote drafted. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. I knew. Coming like realistically with me, just doing special teams. I knew I was gonna go undrafted, but I knew like later on I've showed I could play corner. I could sneak late 6th, 7th, and kind of it didn't work out that way, which was all fine and dandy. I already knew realistically that draft and what even going to be talked about, but now it started getting talked about. Then it's like, okay, your worth, and that other teams are seeing your worth now. And I knew what it was from the jump start. So not getting drafted wasn't a surprise. It didn't bother me one bit. If I got that call, great. That's what every child wants, coming through the childhood dream. But I didn't care about it. I was just give me a foot in the door and let me take care of the rest.
Yeah.
Was it pretty intimidating to come into camp like as an undrafted free agent, or maybe did it give you like a chip on your shoulder?
Oh no, I mean, when I first came, honestly, for me, I was kind of awe moment because it's like, okay, now I'm in an NFL camp, and literally like, so my first reps, I'm lining up against Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
And it's like, for me, I'm like, well, damn, I've never guarded no damn first-round receivers, really.
Yeah.
I think the last one I had to guard was Jalen Tolbert, and he went 3rd round. But that was probably like the best receiver I've guarded other than Addison. It was just like, so like coming out, one of his first plays, he hit me with a mean-ass hitch route, and just luckily my arms are long enough, I was able to retrace and just break it up just enough. That was like the first day of rookie mini camp, so it was like that kind of like, okay, he can play corner a little bit.
Builds the confidence a
yeah,
bit.
So that helped. That built some things. It's like, okay, because I believe I want to line up against the best regardless. That's just who I am. Like, yeah, all receivers are great, but don't put me on some slouch that's not going to get 2 targets. Like, I want to go against the best because I believe if you can't stop the best, you just don't need to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's my mindset going through college and everything. I want to line up against the best, and even now in the league, going through the league, like I find whoever our red dot is for the week, I say I want to go to him regardless. Yeah. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's just who I am.
That's also how you get better at anything, though, is going up against the best people. And then you mentioned your special teams role is the gunner, right? So that's it for people who don't watch a ton of football. That's on a punt. There's, I think, 2 of you guys, right?
Yes.
One on each side, and they're the ones who are streaking down the field, trying to get to the punt returner first. And if you were watching the Monday Night Football game, Najee was actually the one who was it in the 4th quarter?
Well, it was actually one of the first punts.
It was one of the first ones. Okay,
yeah, first quarter.
Yeah,
when our first punt, they were backed up right around about 20, 30-yard line.
Yeah, and you got to him in like less than a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you
I think
popped him.
Yeah, we did it today. It was so it was like kind of like going how fast I was. It was about a 43-yard punt on a 4-2 hang time.
Damn.
So it wasn't much hang time there. It was
Yeah.
one of those, but I mean, I'm gonna get down.
You're a
there.
dog.
Yeah.
Dude, the place absolutely erupted after. I mean, we were at that game and we were like screaming at that. That's got to be like the best feeling in the world, right? When you're the one who made that play.
And that was really a revenge game for me. Cause I've been having that in the back of my head for a while. So started the season off. It started off kind of bumpy, up and down. I wasn't making as many sporadic plays. I was making impacts, but in the league, with some teams, you don't making impacts is not good enough. You need to make sporadic plays. And for me, I guess right now, not holding too much value as far as other positions. When you go to special teams, like you have to make those impact plays and be the guy that they know you could be. And so for the first part of the season, I wasn't making too many plays, and I was kind of like missing and just putting myself in bad positions. And so I had to just kind of like I went inactive for 2 weeks. And so like the Bears game, was thinking of my last game before I went inactive, and I go down there and I missed the returner, and he ended up getting like 10, 15 yards. It was like, because I was kind of in my groove of getting back to tackling, because, after suffering the concussion from Tennessee, I was just out of whack. I just wasn't shooting my shot no more, anything. So it was just getting back to the groove. So, going into this game, I was like, I'm going to line up on 31 again. And I know that they're going to go sometimes single that side, sometimes even double brackets. Like, I know it's coming. I was like, I want to get this returner, because last time we missed them.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of more of a revenge game also, that game for him.
Yeah.
Make him regret that he didn't call a fair catch.
Yeah, I just knew. So, like, the whole time, I'm like, even before I get 5 yards from him, like, you see me sink down, because I'm like, here comes a fair catch. But I was like, okay, the guy's not going, so let me just go straight through him at this point.
I've always wondered, is it easy to miss a fair catch call? Like, because I assume you could light someone up who's called it and then get a 15-yard penalty for the team.
I guess it'd be really tough if they did it as soon as the ball's kicked.
Okay,
Then,
when you're fighting through.
Yeah, then you would probably have no clue.
Okay, yeah.
And that's just something that would go. But other than that, sometimes it can be hard to miss it. But you kind of study a returner. Is he a late hands guy? How is he gonna have his hands? Is he more relaxed?
Okay.
So, like, it's a lot. Just do a lot of studying it over the time, and I've did thousands of reps of gunner. I think I've had one catch interference, and that was probably my junior year against Troy at the 50-yard line.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn. Yeah. I was always going to ask how you guys are able to. It's so impressive how you're able to apply the brakes so fast. When, I mean, you have to make a decision in a split second, whether you're going to go for him because he's not calling the fair catch, or then he calls the fair catch and you need to, like, diverge so you don't run into him. Like, what goes through your head when you're doing a play?
So for me, the returner is usually the last guy I even think about. So I have to worry about, obviously, the guy in front of me, and then I have to worry about, do they have a bracket piece coming to me also? And then on top of that, do they have another guy that's in front of the returner? So sometimes there's 3 or 4 guys back there that we have to maneuver through. And sometimes, say, the opposite side gunner might get a double team. So that double team, you're not expecting them to win so fast. It's going to be a delay. So is he getting down there fast enough? So now you're sometimes 1 on 3.
Yeah.
And it's just, you have to worry about all that. Like, is this a guy, a field return guy? Is he a boundary return guy? That's just what it is. So you have to just understand, what all different things are going through, and then you have to worry about a returner as your last piece, because if you don't get those other guys worried about, you'll never get the returner.
Yeah.
So honestly, what goes to my mind is all that, and then really reading the returner, how his hands are going to be, and really how's our punter doing for the week. Has he been nuking them? So, like, okay, I got to hit full speed now, or have they been short line drives? It's just so much, and it just really takes a lot of repetition. So now I feel like for me, I can wake up and just get it done, and really just tweak the game plan. So I feel like comfortable for that week.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of fair catches, what constitutes to you that a returner is calling for a fair catch? Because I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of controversy around the Minnesota-Iowa game. I don't know if you saw that allegedly he put his hand. I mean, we'll take it as a fair catch.
Signal, right?
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
They ruled it a fair catch. We're Gopher fans, so we're fine with it. But I mean, like, from your perspective, if you're like the guy rushing him, I mean, would you view that as a fair catch?
Well, I've actually had that call on me in college. We were playing Nebraska my senior year, and it was UAB actually. I went to go put my hands up, and they said I threw for a fair catch. And I mean, I guess the motion when you go any hands above your head, that's what they try to go for. But that game in particular, horrible call. He was just given a getaway call. His hands were down like that, and it's a horrible call. And I mean, I don't think that's one you can't miss.
We respectfully disagree.
So we got bailed out.
Yeah. I mean, he was given a motion like this, as far as telling the other guys that's running toward him, just stop in your tracks and just split away. Mm-hmm. And that's all he was doing. And that's the bad thing about it. When the refs just see something, but I think that play when they do that, that's one that needs to just go to replay and either comes back or stands. You don't really stop that play.
Yeah. Nice job, Jake. Now the Iowa fans have ammo against us.
Yeah,
bring it
an
up.
official, an NFL player just said it was a bad call, so
Yeah.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
Shouldn't have brought
Damn
it
it.
up.
Is it true you switched from wide receiver to corner in 2021?
Yeah. We was playing triple option a lot, and one day I went to my coach. I was like, I'm done playing receiver. I was
Okay.
like, I'm a guy that's going to take a chance on myself every time. I believe in myself no matter what I'm going to do. But really how that went was, so I went to Coach Lunsford. Coach Sherman was like, I don't really want to play receiver. I want to stick to special teams. That's where I'm helping the team out most, and that's what I feel like I want to do. So me and Coach Lunsford had a great relationship, much respect on both sides. I was like, okay. So then I didn't go to no meetings or anything. I just did like the specialist meetings, and I was just with those guys. And then we were down really bad that year. That was a year we went 2-10. So we were down to like walk-on corners. We had like no scholarship guys left.
Mm-hmm.
So then he was like, "Can you play corner?" It's like, "Yeah, let's go."
There we go.
And so switched over to corner and just went out there and played. Literally no technique or nothing, just playing.
Mm-hmm. So is it still relatively new to you, or is that by this point you kind of okay?
That position is very new.
Okay.
But for me, I played safety, but I know I can line up and get the job done. It's not gonna be pretty. I know that.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody knows it's not gonna be pretty, but I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna compete against you, and my thing is you're just not gonna dog me out at all. Like,
Yeah.
You might catch one, hats off, but basically I'm gonna come make a play.
Yeah. If journalist Jake here lined up against you on the 20-yard line and he ran 25 routes, is he catching one? This guy right there.
It depends who's throwing the football, though, too.
NFL quarterback.
NFL quarterback, okay.
It depends. If he's running the small in breaking route, I'd give up 5 yards.
Okay.
I'm fine with
Yeah,
a little short.
that's risk management right there.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
Fine 5 yards, but anything, fades and stuff like that, fades and post, I'm gonna bang on me every time.
How many are you gonna pick off?
Fades and post, digs and stuff, probably every one if I'm not batting them out. Yeah.
We ran our
Yeah.
40s last year, and I think do you
Oh,
have a 5.9?
I forgot what I had, honestly.
They were high numbers.
They were not. They were over 5. I think we were trying. Someone was trying to break 5, and that wasn't going to happen.
There were Charlie horses left and right.
Yeah.
It was ugly.
Stretching before and after, and then went to the bar and
Yeah.
tried to recover.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. The other thing I was going to ask you, though, with your wide receiver experience, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but I would assume you are quite an asset on an alleged fake punt if those ever happen because you have the experience of
I'm as far as catching the ball, like I'm fine with catching the ball, tracking the ball.
Yeah.
That's not an issue. I think what makes it hard sometimes when you see as a gunner, even with that experience, is playing in a nighttime game in an open stadium, tracking the ball up there
With
in
all
the
those
sky.
lights.
And
Yeah.
and it looks on TV like this and that, but that's probably one of the toughest jobs to do when you're not like looking at that because you don't practice that all week. You don't
Right.
practice in a dark stadium all week.
Yeah.
And that's your first time really in a dark stadium facing that and those lights, and like Denver is just so high up. So I'm looking up and like I don't know where the ball is.
Yeah.
So like having that experience it helps for sure because like I can catch really well. I trust my hands all day, but it's just like with certain stuff, it just makes it even harder because you still have to worry about the other guys, and there's no pass interference out there at a gunner. That's just the only thing they can call is holding. So if they was to throw a flag and the other guy's holding or really pushing me, there's no flag for that.
Yeah.
So I could be an asset to it, or really be a decoy to it. But that puts fear in other teams' heads. Like, really don't know what
Yeah.
that guy's. Because we have multiple guys that can get it done.
Right.
So that's why makes teams hard to guard as a special teams because they don't know what's coming.
Can Ryan Wright launch the rock?
Yeah, he's 3-star quarterback in college.
I did not know that.
He was
either.
a 3-star quarterback.
Shit.
wow.
So yeah, we
So we have former wide receiver and a 3-star quarterback on
Yeah.
special teams.
We could
I'd like
make
to
some
hear it.
plays out
Let's
there.
do it.
Because the few punts you guys have done were direct snaps, right? this year?
The fake
There's
ones
a
you're
few
talking
of
about?
them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fake punts.
The fake punts have been direct snaps, and they worked out great.
Those work out great, though.
Yeah.
If it
They're
ain't
fun
broke,
to
don't
watch.
fix it. But if you guys do want to try a pass, I'd be excited to see who would get the ball.
Yeah, it can spread around to everybody. Guys in the core and guys on the outside, they're there. Like, it just when that time comes and we feel like pulling them out, they're gonna be pulled out. And teams in the league know that. And
Yeah.
so that's why you see everybody backed up on us and they don't rush us too much.
Right. Yeah, you got to think in the NFL, it's like so much harder to pull off a fake punt, especially a pass, with like the amount of talent that's on the other side compared to college, where it could be anybody.
Yeah,
the specialist.
we're hoping to get a pass off soon, but I mean our sweeps are working really well.
Yeah.
Works great.
Well, I think last year Ryan Wright completed a pass or
He
first
did.
down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have done it.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious. I mean, you don't have to obviously reveal your entire playbook here with us, but I mean, you do practice that a little bit, don't you? Like those fake punts
spend a lot
every
of time.
week.
Spend a lot of time on them. Just like every team spends a lot of time on fakes. And you might really spend a lot of time on week 1 and not run it till week 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just you practice it. Does it look well? Okay, it's sitting in the playbook. And so, like, people don't think there's actually plays we run out there at gunner. Like, well, you have a lot of plays out there. Now we have to listen to the motions, the shifts. Like, you got to know all that. And that people just think that's not another position out there. That's that position itself is a whole detailed position. Sometimes detailed more. It's like really a receiver. Like, you have to line up certain splits. Take certain angles. If he moves this way, you got to go this way. It's really a lot to learn out there. So, like, for me, that's why I feel like I got the knack at it really early, and that's what's helped me at the next level, is because I've had so many reps at it in college. Now I know with the looks that I get, like, okay, this is how I'm going to defeat it and how I'm going to beat it every time.
Yeah, all the casuals out there, including me, prior to this interview, are thinking about Madden, where you press A and it goes straight, you press B and it goes right, you press X and it goes left. It's like, all right, that's special teams.
Yep.
Let's run it. There's way more to it.
Yeah, a lot. Definitely a lot to it.
Obviously, you know all where you need to be in pretty much all the plays and special teams, but you also have to know the whole entire defensive playbook and learn that every single week when the plays are installed.
I'm sitting in those meetings for 3 or 4 hours. So
Okay.
I understand it. But corners cover 1, man, 3,
Okay.
the quarters. And that's just what corner is. Corner is probably the easiest thing to learn, but the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes that position tough, because week in, week out, Devontae Adams, Jarek Judy, and then, like, they just have so many guys in the league that can just ball out. And they're only bringing 5-6 receivers, so those are your 5-6 elite guys.
Yeah.
And when you're lining up against each one of those different times, it's tough. Sometimes corners are on special teams, so now you have fatigue into it. So it's a lot. But no, I know the defense. But I mean, I don't put my focus on that right now because I'm a realistic guy. I know I'm not going there. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't even,
Yet.
You never know. There was it the 2020 season where we were down to like.
Yeah, I mean, when it gets
happens.
down to that, like, it does happen. We've had that where we've down to, like, switching some corners here and that. Like, for me, I know it, and I tell them realistically, your best shot with me right now is put me in man coverage.
Yeah.
And that's just being realistic.
Yeah.
I can show up in the run game for sure. Like, I mean, I can tackle well, but just for me, I have to train my eyes more, just looking, because I've never really played corner like that. I got 500 snaps in college of my senior year, but that's nowhere near enough what you need as far as training corner. But for me, I know my best thing is put me in man coverage, and you can have your best shot.
Right.
Yeah, and be the it's called the gunner, right?
Yeah.
The gunner. I keep thinking of like my brothers were in the military, and there's like a gunnery sergeant rank.
Okay.
I think. And I was like, I don't want to be like, have stolen valor here or anything like that, but they should just rename your position to the gunnery sergeant. That would sound so much more badass. It already sounds badass, but like that would just make it even sound more insane.
Yeah, it's funny how they come up with the names of the position, but I mean, honestly, that position is you're hauling full speed 24/7, and you got to stop at some point. Just like guns run out of ammo. That's just what it is. When you get down there, you got to have to stop at some point. And like, I personally, I love the position. I would only play that position for as long as I can.
Yeah.
I'm really not really interested in not much more.
Well, speaking of Iowa, if you were playing on that team, you'd probably need the oxygen tank after the game because they're punting every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean let's see,
20 punts a game.
yeah, because Riley Moss came from Iowa, I believe. So yeah, so he was at Denver. He was their other corner like for that, and so yeah, I mean you make a name off special teams, going to schools like that, and that's just. If you feel like you can do it, that's schools to go to for sure. Teams that punt a lot.
The U this year,
Yeah,
punted a lot.
Oh yeah, we did
Locally.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too. Speaking of like long-term special teams guys, we had Marcus Sherrills here for like 12 years, and he was our punt returner, but he was a special teams guy listed as a cornerback, but he was super impactful as the punt returner, and it can happen.
Yeah, special teams I think now is getting a whole lot more notice more notice and respect than it has ever. And that right there, I love it. As horrible as the Louisville game was to watch, they make the great special teams play. But again, you couldn't expect much out of the quarterback and the offensive coordinator, how they did that. It's horrible to watch. It's probably one of the worst college games I've watched. But they made a great special teams play, and honestly, it sucks because you make a great special teams play and you get no points out of that. It's like, oh, man.
Right.
But that special teams changed the game so much. It kills absolute momentum. I think in college, the stat is if you block a punt, you have like an 85% chance to win the game.
Shit, I don't doubt it, though, because especially when you can run it back or you can put your team in good field position after you block that punt, it's a whole different. And especially as Minnesota Vikings fans, we're used to every game being close.
Yeah.
So we have an apappreciation for special teams because that shit matters in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Yeah, because the Saints game was big for me this year because that last punt we did to the Saints, I mean, they doubled me, and I don't get down there and hit them in the legs like, man, do they get closer for field goal range or even an easier shot for a touchdown pass? It was like a lot of small plays like that don't ever show up. They're very impactful because it flips field position. That's the main thing in the game.
Right.
You're never on the defensive side of the ball on the special teams, are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes like on pressure, like when the other team's punting and we're returning and stuff like that. Kick return, sometimes I'm out there. So really, special teams, all of it really is defensive plays, honestly, if you think about it.
Yeah, even on the kick return, Yeah,
because even because you say that's more of an offensive play, but that's because we just look at from the punter to the returner. But the inside core, you're going at it with those guys. Like you have to hold those guys up, and sometimes you're either taking one to the sideline or he's taking you to the sideline.
Yeah.
And so that's like people miss those plays because you don't see that, but you go into film, you really see all the interior stuff and work that has to be done in order for that even to happen.
Yeah.
If you had to, could you return kicks and punts or no?
Yeah.
You could?
Hopefully, next year. I was going to do preseason return this year. I just had a concussion.
Okay.
So the Cardinals game, I was going to be the returner, but I just didn't get to make it there. But yeah, I plan to be a kick return. We actually have a guy that is great at it, Malik Knowles. When he gets back off his injury, he's gonna be back there, so they're gonna have a lot of competition back there. But yeah, I mean, that's what I plan to do. I would not return punts. Nah, you have to be a real dangerous guy to even think about that job.
Yeah, no kidding. I think the same thing.
Yeah, I would never return punts.
It's reckless if you think about it. Yeah.
Well, and it's hard. Have you guys tried to
We did it at the buddy games thing
before the first Vikings game. They had average people that's out there trying to catch punts, and I want to say maybe 10% of the people there actually caught the punt.
Yeah, it's very hard.
And it looks so simple on TV, and you'll have people judging these athletes for drop. Dude, they have lights they're dealing with, and like the way the ball spins is crazy.
And guys and I feel like players are screaming at them too, right?
Running down full speed.
And it's like, do you so I'd look at it like for every special teams, like every team has guys like me that think the same way as me. Is like. They can't be blocked sometimes. So it's like even at kick return, those guys are screaming right through and like they might be untouched.
Yeah.
So they're gonna knock the living crap out. Like I did it in college, and I still remember playing Louisiana Lafayette. The guy comes screaming from the 30, his opposite 35. I don't think I made it out to the 20. He hit me so hard, my helmet flew 10 yards to the left.
Yeah.
And it's like, like if you don't trust your return team, like good Lord.
Well, and you made that big hit against Tennessee. Was that in the preseason this year?
Yeah.
And your helmet flew off.
Yeah.
Those are always the best though, because then you can see the facial expression on your guys' face and how pumped up you are. It almost adds to the show a little bit.
Get some TV time, man.
Yeah, that play hurt. Honestly, that play really did hurt. It was luckily my helmet did pop off because when you're watching the slow motion, like just the way my head comes down. Luckily, my helmet just popped off because if my neck would have just went without it,
Yeah.
It could have been a horrible situation. But luckily, my helmet popped off at that point.
Absolved all the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the video too, Paul Allen was announcing because he announces the preseason, and he was just excited. It's Najee Thompson. Just his energy. I'm like, yes, this is great.
Well, kind of along the same lines, you're the defensive hype man, right? So you're the one. Are you the one who comes up with the celebrations for the defense?
Yeah. So any celebration that we do, I come up with it during the week. Send it to the guys on like Friday, Saturday, come into meetings, and that's the first thing that comes up. So as soon as you walk in the room for meetings, it's like, here you go, explain what we're doing, why we're doing it. The guys like it, they like it. If they don't, it's okay. Tomorrow, you better have something new. And it's like they really take it serious. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's become a big thing across the league.
Yeah,
like who can have the best celebration?
Yeah, Dolphins have some great ones. I didn't think about the one they just did, the roller coaster.
Oh yeah, last night the Dolphins did it, I think.
Yeah, Dolphins.
Yes.
They made it hard because they scored those 70 points.
Yeah.
So like you kind of like they hit so many celebrations. It's like my goodness.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes it really tough, and then. You got to think, I got to come up with at least 4 a game. So we have 4 in our back pocket that you just got to come up with. And it's like, now you got to think deeper and deeper. And it's like, okay, we're week 13 now. It's like, we done had a celebration. We started this, what did we start this? I think after the Panthers game, we started it.
Okay.
Because we were making a lot of sacks. And it was like, guys wasn't energized. And it was like,
Well, in Flores, I've heard he'll like call you out in film sessions if he sees you're not celebrating. Right?
He made an entire cut up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had an entire cut up. He just looked at us. He's like, I don't feel like guys are really having fun and enjoying this. He's like, just look at this. And it was clip after clip after clip after clip. Like he studied.
You guys are doing film on celebrations. I love that shit. Fans should love
dedication.
That.
Yeah, they take their time with everything. Sometimes the results don't give what they wanted, but they take their time with everything, and it is literally detailed down to the time when he's gonna have it done. Mm-hmm. So like, there's like we got the game plan done by a certain time tomorrow. If you need it, here we go. Yeah. And he's like these last 5 weeks, he's like, oh, I'm locked in. He's like, man, my wife knows that everything. Like they put so much time into that, like. People think it's always the coaches. Sometimes it's never the coaches. Sometimes it is the players. But most times it is the coaches because do they put as much time into it as you expect the players to put out? And that's just kind of the mix-up sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I can for sure our coaches put in so much time and effort. And, yeah, we turn the ball over a lot right now, and that's just kind of been our season. But like they say, that football is a funny shaped ball.
Yeah, it is.
It bounces weird.
Yeah, if you look at it, that ball just never bounces back our way.
Yeah.
And we've got some, and sometimes it don't. And every time they fumble, ball bounces their way.
Yeah.
That's just been our season.
It's literally the opposite of last year's Vikings, where we got every single bounce, and it's like the law of averages, right?
Yep, that's just what it is. And sometimes, like my favorite thing to say is just like, you just cannot make this up.
Yeah,
like
for people who say it's scripted, it's not.
The ball doesn't have a script.
Nah, you just can't make it up. The way the ball bounces is just like, okay.
How did you get the title Celebration Corps? I feel like that'd be a coveted position.
I have no clue. So like, we walk into meetings one day and he's talking about this, and he's like, he's like, because the rookies. Like, I guess we hadn't did too much this year as far as stuff, and he was just like, this might be like the worst rookie class or something. He's like, yep, you know what? Celebration coordinator, this, that, and then like, he looked at me because like for me, I'm like the life of the party. I'm always gonna be energetic. I'm always gonna laugh, joke, 24/7. That's just gonna be me wherever I'm at. And so he looked at me and was like, oh, you're celebration coordinator, and I was like,
there we go.
Okay, I don't dance or anything, but I guess I'll get this done.
Yeah.
So do you like lead any sort of practices or rehearsals on the celebrations?
So for us, we have a bunch of young guys other than Harrison Smith in the room. that he's probably seeing so many celebrations. But we have a bunch of young guys, so they see a bunch of the dances that come across their pages anyway. And so they're familiar with the dances. It's just when you bring it back up to them, it's like, oh, now we can actually do it during a game, during the turnover. So when they're out there in defense, I'm sitting around. As soon as they make one, I grab my helmet and just run on the field, and so we just get the dances done together. But yeah, they're pretty familiar with everyone.
That's awesome. It's great that you just have the football aspect. No, we got to get the dances down too. Let's do this. Like, I mean, it is cool though when it does hype up the fans, whether you're at the game or watching on TV and you make a big turnover, interception, fumble, or whatever it may be, and we see you guys doing some crazy celebration other than just the offensive guys after you get a touchdown. It just hypes us up even more when we're watching as fans. So
yeah, we put a time into it for sure.
It's especially hilarious when you're doing it in other team stadiums. It's so funny.
Yeah.
The Carolina one, and people are just booing. It's great.
You did mention that you guys are starting to run low on ideas because it's getting later in the season. We each actually brought one for you to see what you think. I guess we'll start at the far end. You, Jake, would you bring again?
So get this, the hockey breakaway. One of the guys, similar to like a goalie free kick, but one of the players acts like he's a goalie, gets in the goalie stance, ice hockey goalie, and you go up or you using the football acting like you have a hockey stick and you dangle him and shoot and score. And go with that.
We definitely could use that on the goalpost.
Yeah.
By the
goalpost. And then the whole team runs around and does the hockey hug thing.
Yeah.
And that one would play well here too for especially a home game because this is a state of hockey, big hockey city.
Definitely would shoot that to the guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could take it, different from what we described it, but like go run with something like that.
Yeah, we definitely add tweaks to it just to make it work.
On the football field, obviously.
Yeah, one that I brought is a golf putt. I think you guys did something somewhat similar with the pylons, but one guy is the person putting, the other is the caddy and helps him read it, and then he putts it, and then all the defensive guys look, and when it goes in, they all golf clap.
I'll either do that or fall down.
Or the putt, and then everyone falls. Yeah, that's always a good one.
Have you ever seen the movie The Mighty Ducks?
Sounds so familiar.
It's like a pretty popular movie. It's based here in the Twin Cities.
It was filmed in St. Paul,
it was filmed in the city. Actually, the city. And it's like especially around here, it's like a huge movie, right? They do something called the flying V, where they line up in a V formation and they fly down the ice and they score a goal. I think you guys should just get into a big V and just run down the field. I think Minnesota fans would love it.
Like a flock of geese.
Flock of ducks.
I'm gonna definitely shoot these over to the guys.
There we go.
There definitely could be 3 that would come in with the Raiders game for sure.
You'd be surprised how many of these we could come up with.
Yeah, I was just thinking of more like something with tennis or something where you two guys are like back and forth, and
then everyone else's heads are doing this,
and then one of you guys gets the point, and you're like this, and the one looks defeated, and I don't know, that'd be kind of funny, or table tennis or pickleball or something based off that.
Yeah, well, I shoot a lot of ideas at them. Somebody gets shut down, and then it's like, okay, we can roll with this one. And then like coaches might shut it down, and it's like, oh man. So,
Well, not to be dramatic here, but if you end up using one of these ideas and it gets used, it might just be the best day of our lives.
Definitely shut you guys out.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Random question: can you hear the Minnesota accents?
I don't never hear. I always get I have an accent. They always tell me that.
Well, because you're from South Carolina, right? Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
So that's what they always tell me. But I feel like it's the same.
I don't really hear an accent, to be honest.
I never do.
Yeah. Well, no, we like to ask that for people that are like outside of Minnesota, because you obviously are from South Carolina, played at Georgia Southern. I mean, what has that been transition like from your home state or Georgia to Minnesota? What was that like?
Obviously the very obvious part is just the weather. The
winter.
Yeah, that's about it. Other than that, everything's really it's the same. I mean, I like how it's like diverse here. Like if I can go to the suburbs here, cities here, country there, you kind of get that in Georgia, but really not too much. It's kind of really one type thing that you can get like a mix around, just like different spots. But like here, you can literally drive to different parts of it and experience something different.
Well, Minnesota's been good to you so far. This isn't even winter right now.
It's been a great
winter.
We're
like back to fall, but it's December.
Yeah, I love it. Don't worry. I love it. I hope it stays this way.
Yeah.
it won't. But
we'll be -20 in a month.
Yeah.
-40 with wind chill.
Well, I did see a video of you when you guys were doing your rookie intros at camp, and I think you sang "When I See You" by, is it Fantasia?
Yeah, it was funny because how we started off was I'm a big gamer, so
Okay.
I love playing Madden. So he was like, "Who in here can play Madden?" It was like offense and defense. So I'm going against JJ, and so I win the game, and he was like, "Oh, you thought you got off that easy?" He was like, "Oh, you got to sing something."
So that's what that was for.
Yeah, so it was
Damn.
It just like it was random. I didn't even think twice about it because I would have never volunteered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you end up getting.
You lose to JJ at Madden, and then you get publicly ridiculed.
I'm like, wow. Like, yeah, it's like, here we go. Let's sing it now.
How'd you choose the song, or did someone else choose it?
I just has like a throwback song that everybody has to know. I was like, this is it.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Well, and in the video of you, I saw Kirk was like right in front of the camera, and he just had like the biggest smile on his face. He was like, "This isn't
he's
Christian.
loving it.
This isn't Christian rock, but this is cool."
Yeah.
It's singing. I sing too.
Yeah, Kirk's a real cool guy.
Yeah.
He's really chill.
Yeah. We had him on this show a couple of years ago. It was a blast.
Yeah, Kirk's a great guy.
Yeah.
Now, is he still? I think he's still going to the facility and everything.
Yeah,
right?
he's
Right.
in
Yeah.
meetings, facility, everything. He's still playing on Sunday.
Did you see the video of him
Dedicated.
crawling to the ocean?
Yeah, that was hilarious. that was hilarious. That's like Kirk.
And then he was on the scooter. He was
Yeah.
hauling groceries.
Yep. He's not letting that Achilles like
No.
bring him down from normal everyday life.
Oh no,
duties.
I think the way that it's rolling now, like guys are. A guy told me the other day he had one, and it's like he could feel like he can play in 2 months. Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah.
it's just way, but it's just kind of like not logically smart to do it.
Right,
But it feels
right.
like, but he's like, you feel like you can get back to it faster now.
Well, that injury used to be like a career ender, and then I think Cam Akers a few years ago came back in 5 months.
Yeah. So yeah.
No, Aaron Rodgers is going to be what, 3 months?
Yeah,
it's
they're,
looking like that.
they're pushing the stigma on it and this and that, but I mean that just shows you the technology and medical that we have now is just out. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's way above our heads. I know Rogers got the bridge fix, which that sounds like a temporary fix. I'm glad Kirk went the long route. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the bridge fix, I don't know anything about the human body, let alone surgery, but that sounds like a quick fix that might just re-break.
Yeah. So
We'll see.
well, I guess he's gonna be the first test. They gotta test it. So
Yeah.
we're gonna see.
That line there in New York will give him a good test.
100%.
Stress test it a little bit.
100%.
Yeah, really quick. I wanted to bring up. I saw that you broke the 200-meter state record in Georgia in high school. Is that true?
Yeah. So South Carolina.
Or South Carolina, yeah.
So it was funny how that went. So going into my senior year, I always keep these pictures on my phone to where coming through my whole career in high school, I always came up short. State championship. I talked about it in 10th grade driver's ed class with Coach Lipscomb. He was a baseball coach at Bowling Springs and running backs coach there. Sitting in the car, and I tell him, like, I'm going to win a state championship one day. Like, I always want a ring for my mom. Like, I want to. And I come up short every year. The year I knew I was going to win it, I gave out. I gassed out. And it's like, man, I just came up short over and over and over. So then my senior year, I'm rolling in. Second meet of the season, I dropped a 21-1. So that ended up being the fastest time in the state really throughout the whole year. And so we was at a Dutch Fork Classic meet, and it was like that state record's going to get broke this year because Tavian Feaster, he's a legend in South Carolina, honestly. I mean, the guy was a Powerade Player of the Year. I mean, he was just the best running back in the state. He ended up going out to the Giants, I believe, for a little bit. He played at Clemson for a little while. But that was a record that I was like, got to break. Because I was like, I'm rolling right now. I said, I don't get nothing but get faster. And that was at the coldest meet. And so running out in the cold was like, oh, wow. It was an eye-opener. So fast forward all the way to the state meet. I should have won the 100-meter state record, state championship that day also. But what happened was the first one we ran out, they called a false start on somebody, and I was already out the gate. So we had to restart, and so I ended up doing a photo finish. And he got me by like a tenth of a second. So then I was like, all right, let's roll. So then I won the 400 meters with ease. And so then I had to run. We had guys drop out of the 400 meters in the state championship just to try to come beat me in the 200. And so that's what everybody was
Yeah,
saying.
because the 400 is insane. Like
Yeah.
it is the most. I feel like that's the most difficult one you can run because you have to run fast, but you can't sprint the whole thing. Pretty much,
Well,
right?
I mean, once you start training up, it's literally a sprint at that point.
Yeah.
So I ended up running the 47:03, but I think without the wind time was a 46:98.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I was like, I wasn't even tired or anything after that. So it was the 400, and I was like, then the 200. So then to go break the state record right after running a 400, when I really could have broke both state records. If I knew the state record for the 400, I would have broke that too.
Yeah.
I just never knew it because we didn't even look at it.
Damn.
We only looked at the 200. So like those runs are out on YouTube, and so I look back at that every once in a while. I was like, I'm jogging this 400 and it's still running 47, and then to go break the state record after that was like, it was pretty impressive to me, because I really I fall out of the blocks in the 200. I slipped completely and still broke it. So it was like, that was just me knowing how much power and speed I had, and it's still able to translate to me now.
yeah.
I assume, did you have a lot of offers for track too? Or?
I was gonna go to the University of South Carolina.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
And I just chose football. I didn't know how the scholarships works for track.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew football was going to be a way to help me to college. And so when I got the 4 from Georgia Southern, I was like, I'm here. I signed right away, basically.
Could you have done both if you wanted to, or no?
Georgia Southern has a Title IX situation where you can't do both there. But I wanted to do both, of course. It's just kind of hard. A lot of guys do it at the bigger universities like that. But they always usually choose football.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't know if there's any other Vikings players on the team that can say they broke a state record. So, I mean, you might be I don't know.
I don't know how to actually just ask around, honestly. I've never really asked that around, honestly.
Well, by that association, you might be the fastest guy on the team then.
Yeah, I
State
definitely
record holder.
take my crown at that team. Because, I mean, when they do, like, the miles per hour run, I topped out like at 22.8 this year.
Shit.
And then I think the last game they got me at 22.5. So I'm rolling.
So it is confirmed you're the fastest player in the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I definitely take
Yep.
it over.
Perfect.
Okay.
I don't think there's a guy that might stand a chance getting close, but I mean, I'm definitely will look at anybody in there and tell them like, yeah, I'm definitely fastest on the team.
Yeah.
Heard it
And,
here
well,
first.
especially in your role too. You kind of
Yeah.
have to be.
Yeah.
Like you don't want someone slow.
Yeah, you
Being a
have
gunner.
Yeah, you definitely have to be the fastest out there.
Yeah.
At any point.
That's sweet. Well, the last thing I have to say is I see you're a big Phoenix Suns fan. We need to get you on the Wolves bandwagon.
Oh yeah, I actually just got this jacket last night. It was
Oh, you did?
I walked into that store and I seen it, and I loved just how it was. But no, I watch Towns play. I love Ant the way he plays. And Gobert. I think they're going to do really well this year. I think it's just going to be hard for anybody to really stop them other than the Nuggets in the West.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, you're not stopping Jokic regardless. And their bench is actually amazing also. But, no, I think the Timberwolves are going to be really well. I'm going to get out to a game really, really soon. I think LeBron comes here this year.
Yep. Yeah, it's usually once a year.
Yeah, so when LeBron gets here this year, definitely going to get out to that one. So, but yeah, I'm going to definitely be a whole lot more Timberwolves games for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's fun. It's funny hearing someone else say that like it's going to be hard to stop them in the West. We're not used to that.
No.
We're
No,
not used to
especially
people
with the
saying
Timberwolves.
about our teams.
Yeah,
but-
you're not going to stop. It's going to be really hard to stop them in the West because you got to think we got a damn center that can come the hell out and pop threes, and then
Yeah.
Gobert can sit in the damn paint,
Right.
get the rebounds.
Yeah.
So like they have all the weapons they need this year to go do what they need to do, even in the West, because the West is not strong. But what's tough is like when Bradley Beal gets back with the Suns, because they had Bradley Beal, Durant, and who else they have? Booker.
Devin Booker,
They
yeah.
all haven't played a game together. That makes them dangerous. I would always think they're going to win it over there, but it's like they always find a way to screw it. But I don't believe in their coach, Frank Vogel. He's a pretty much new coach. I don't think he can – it's hard to coach the superstar power.
It is.
Yeah.
And you've seen that. You've seen him with the Lakers.
Right.
He couldn't really do much with it. And so, I think as far as well-balanced team, coach-wise, everything, Timberwolves have that advantage in every area.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
You know, the Suns may have Kevin Durant, but we have Jaden McDaniels.
We do have Jaden
Yeah.
McDaniels.
That's what Anthony Edwards said last year in that interview. I love that.
Yeah,
true.
They're loaded. They're
Yeah, I know.
they're loaded everywhere.
Yeah.
Love it. I absolutely love it.
Did you see a KD ripping on Ant's sneakers?
Yeah.
And then the Adidas admin.
Yeah, didn't he say my big toe wouldn't go in those MFers or something like that?
And then the Adidas admin was like, "You dusty about to retire" or something. Like called him old.
Yeah,
That's great.
Kevin Durant's a hilarious guy. Honestly, when he responds to fans and stuff, that's just like sometimes
That's
I look
awesome.
on there, I want to respond. It's like, I had a bunch of trolls that hit me in college. Oh man, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think I might have saved one. That guy was like, "Yeah, you're never gonna do this in NFL." Blah blah. Then he hits me up. He DMs me again. He's like, "How's it going?" He's like, "I guess it's not going well. You didn't respond back." And it's just like that guy never leaves you alone.
It's like, Google it, dude. I'm in the NFL now.
Yeah, there's
Bro, did
so
you see
many.
the hit I made?
There's so many trolls and stuff that just comes to our DMs. It's just
Oh, I bet.
yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's part of the job.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun to you can either ignore it or not let it bother you, but still screw back with these trolls too.
Yeah, I literally just like for our guy Makai Blackman, man, that kid works his ass off. And then giving that play up in Denver, that hit him the deepest, but it was some plays you make, some plays you don't. I think that was Russell Wilson's known for making those plays.
Yeah.
That receiver just made that play against Buffalo in the corner end zone. It's just sometimes you got to tip your hat off.
Yeah.
And it's just I know he had a lot of people say things to him, but I just told him, I said, bro, they'll love you one week, they'll hate you the next.
Yeah.
That's just part of it.
That's sports fans in a nutshell.
Yeah.
They don't understand they can get out there because I can guarantee any guy go against Makai, good luck.
Yeah.
Any Twitter troll going against.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good luck even getting off the line. So,
Going against Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, good luck getting off your couch after your 6 beers going after Cortland Sutton or whatever. Jeez.
So that's just part of the business.
I know.
And it just is what it is.
Well, and in the end, you guys are living the dream. You're playing in the NFL. You guys have won at life, not these trolls. So
It was just living our dream out. Something we've always talked about, and then it's even more special because we come in with our rookie class and to still have this rookie class attached. Just like our guy Ben Sims that plays for the Packers, he was with our class. It was great seeing him score his first career touchdown last night.
Yeah, that's right. I remember hearing that one
Yeah.
guy scored his
Yeah,
first. So you knew that guy.
Yeah, he came in with our class.
Okay.
We came to OTAs together, everything. Unfortunately, the tight end room is packed.
it is
Yeah.
loaded.
So we couldn't obviously keep him, but it was great to see him get picked up by another team, and then he scores his first touchdown. It's just seeing all other guys succeed in your rookie class is just a big feeling inside you can't really explain because it's we know what it took to get here. We know all the work that these guys put in. Now seeing everybody else live their dream, I think that's big. Even when I make plays or something, you always gonna see Jay Ward right behind you. That he's always coming up where he go makes a play. I don't make sure I'm trying to be the first one down. Even when Makai go makes a play, I'm on the sideline watching them, and it's just I love seeing our rookie class, just do well.
Yeah, that's sweet. Anything else you guys had?
Oh, I'm good, man.
I think we're good.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, too. This was very insightful, I think, because a lot of people out there don't appreciate special teams. Like I said, we do because as Vikings fans, we know it's it comes down to it.
It's valuable.
Yeah, it's very valuable.
It literally decides games, especially close ones.
Yeah, for me, I'll go back to Georgia Southern. I tell those kids all the time, because for me, the reason I love it so much is because I always got laughed at for it through my whole college career. I got laughed at day in and day out because I said all I'm gonna do is special teams, and then the special team All-American is still got laughed at for. It's oh, you're All-American on special teams, blah blah blah, this blah blah that, and that's all I've heard my whole career in college. It's you want to use special teams, that's nothing, and I was okay,
Yeah,
and I was I have more tackles than you at special teams than you do starting on defense,
right, right.
and so I was and it's sometimes I don't even play the second half of a game because we might not punt. We
Right.
might not have a kick return. We might not even kick off.
Right.
So I was some games I'd get 12 snaps in.
Yeah.
So that roughly right now I'm playing 20 snaps a game.
Yep.
And that's just what it is.
Right.
But I get sometimes guaranteed roughly 2 plays a game. You're guaranteed kickoff and kick return. And that's just what it is. And I'm fine with that role because I know those 2 snaps, I'm going to make those the best snaps. And for me, I tell every guy, or any kid that's playing sports, it's great to maximize yourself to play every position. It's great. But you're also given a lot of room for error. Make yourself undeniable. Make yourself to where you can narrow it down, play one position, excel in it. You're undeniable at that point. Yeah, there might be some money left off the table, but are you doing it for the money? You're doing it for love.
Right.
And the money's going to come. It's just part of sports. Money's going to come. And for me, like, oh, you missed out on millions and this and that. Like, probably am. It's fine. But I'll make it back in doing something else. And that's why I make myself undeniable so I can get paid at my position.
Yeah.
And that's just how I look at things. Because, the more you do, you have a lot more room for error. So now it's like, okay, we can expand this guy. This other guy doesn't make this many errors, and he does this and that. Boom. It's kind of hard sometimes to put different gunners out there and say, this guy can do that. Yeah, he might can play gunner and defense. They might add more value. How much impact does he bring? Can he excel at both now? And so I just try to make myself undeniable at what I do and keep it small and excel at it. So I make myself like, it's hard to get rid of this guy.
Right.
And so that's why I don't worry about playing corner. We draft, I think it was like 38 corners drafted. They're gonna bring those in every year.
Yeah.
Right. You're not gonna
Specialist guys.
You don't bring gunners in every year.
Yeah.
You see guys that play Slater that haven't placed him yet.
Yeah.
The Saints, Gray, haven't replaced him yet. They got two guys. It was Justin Hardy for the Jets. Ain't even talked about him play yet. The rookie out in Denver, number one, I think Edmonds. He's gonna be there for a while. They ain't replaced him. Those guys are the 53rd guy on the roster. They're not gonna replace him. He's like sometimes the heart and soul of the special teams, and that's why I want to be for the Vikings. The heart and soul is just like make it undeniable.
Yeah.
And that's just what I want to be.
Well, and who else is going to come up with the touchdown celebrations
Exactly.
or the turnover celebrations? Like, you're just adding more to your resume.
Yeah, that's what I wake up every morning and add something to the resume.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about, man.
Offense, defense, special teams, celebration coordinator.
Oh, yeah. Podcast guest.
Yeah. In an official studio.
Yeah, in an official studio.
Official.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're going to be rooting you on every punt, man. This has been great. Thanks so much.
Love it.
Yeah. Folks, we've talked about it plenty of times. We offer a large line of merchandise here at 10,000 Takes. If you go to our website, 10ktakesmn.com, click the shop tab, you'll see all the awesome designs we have to offer. Anything from the Minnesota Hockey Collection, the Minnesota Vikings Collection, Football, Wild. We have still have some Twins stuff on there. And a little tidbit, we're going to be dropping some basketball stuff. Yep, this might be the state of hoops the way the Timberwolves are playing, so we're going to be dropping some awesome designs for the Timberwolves. We've gotten a lot of great feedback and ideas. So all you have to do is go to 10ktakesmn.com, click the shop tab. You can see all of our Wild, Twins, Vikings, Timberwolves designs, along with some other general 10K merchandise. Once again, go to 10ktakesmn.com, click the shop tab, and get some good Christmas gifts today. Christmas is right around the corner. We already mentioned the fellas, the Christmas lights down here in St. Paul, and it's a great vibe. So make sure to get some Christmas gifts for your loved ones, your friends. 10ktakesmn.com. Click the shop tab. All right, welcome back to It's a Bit. As we mentioned early in the show, it was an awesome interview with Najee. If you don't follow him on all of his socials. He's very active on Twitter, tweets back at people, posts some stuff on Instagram. It's just always fun to hear some of those younger guys who, didn't go through the formal draft process, but, are finding success in the NFL, especially guys like him who have such a unique position yet, like I said, but before we even really knew who he was, we were cheering so loud on that hit against the Bears. So
A professional gunner.
Yeah.
Yeah, gunnery sergeant.
It's a badass name. It's a badass title.
And I just really became familiar with that term like in the last year or two, to be honest. I always thought they're just the rusher or whatever, but the gunner sounds so much more better.
It's cool because it's not an official title, but it's like more of a industry-wide nickname.
Yeah, it's like the Mike and the Sam for the linebackers.
But it's so cool. Like the gunner. But yeah, it was great to get that insight on that, especially from like an undrafted free agent side of things, and super, super cool dude.
It's kind of cool how, he's the gunner for the Vikings, but he knows of, and personally, some of the other gunners in the league. Like, there's almost like a gunner community.
Yeah, Gunner Club.
Yeah, the Gunner Club.
And they meet every year.
Rodden Gunner Club.
In Prior Lake.
Yep.
At the Horse and Hunt Club. Yep. We got it, Jinx.
They don't drink beer at all while they shoot.
Nope, not at all.
Hope not.
They don't have a derby meeting.
Yeah, well, that sucks for them.
Oh.
I saw Family Guy made fun of demolition derbies in the last episode I watched. Yeah, there's a clip.
I gotta watch.
Just search Family Guy demolition derby.
Fuck yeah.
Are you going to get it triggered, Cam?
Not at all.
Basically, it's like Peter saying, you know how usually we just watch NASCAR to see crashes? Well, you can come here and only see crashes.
Yeah, it's the greatest sport ever.
Yeah. And then they're just drinking beer. There's a guy who has a T-shirt gun, except it shoots hot dogs.
Paradise on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
What, I mean, like, actually, though, like, what is bad about that event?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I think
Everything.
the episode of Family Guy, they're insinuating that dumb people go to it because Brian.
I'm dumb.
Because Brian is suddenly finds out he's stupid, and Peter's like, "Oh, let me show you what dumb guys do," and it starts, and they're at a demolition derby. But I don't think that's even an insult. We've all said we're idiots. So
Yeah, that's great.
this is just
That's
this
awesome.
is pure fact.
I guess we should go to more derbies.
Any publicity to the sport is a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's
right.
no such thing as bad publicity. Bad publicity is good publicity, or what's the term?
No, you're right. That's how it goes. That's
Yep.
the phrase.
No.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the underdog segment before we close out the show with bit of the week. And by the way, if you do not know what underdog fantasy is, Jake told you about the program, about the gracious sponsor of ours in the beginning. It's just a great app where you can pick your favorite or least favorite players, higher to lower, each week and pick them. They do like a DraftKings style draft, and if you sign up with promo code 10K, you can either ride or fade these picks that we're about to give you. The overall standings, so what we're doing is each week we're all picking 3 different player entries on pick'em entries on the Underdog app, and then we're going to track them through the end of the Stanley Cup / NBA Finals, and whoever is in last is going to have some sort of punishment. All 4 of us still have yet to be together to talk about the punishment. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about the punishment
No,
yet.
I think we've all been all separated.
There's always someone
every
missing
week.
each week, but
And
we're
Wags
gonna
is gone.
we're gonna do that and go for hoops. One of these fucking days we're gonna have everyone back in here.
Yeah.
But I believe the roster, or the standings, through 3 weeks, right? Through 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Through 2 weeks,
Yep.
6 opportunities. I think Zane is at the top of the leaderboard
He
with
has to
2
be.
correct.
2 correct?
Yeah.
I think I was.
I have 1.
No,
I would-
Jake had 2 last time.
I had
think
2
Zane
the
might
first
have
week, and then I
3.
had 1 last week. So I'm 3 for 6 so far. So
Okay.
I'm 3 and 3.
Okay.
I think, but didn't Zane say he had 2?
Shit, I should be. This needs. I'm gonna
We
put-
need to get confirmed from
I mean,
Zane.
That's fine.
I'm
But
gonna make.
Zane
I'm
had
gonna
like
make a
emergency
spreadsheet
come
for
up,
this.
so
I'm gonna write down and make a spreadsheet.
I
for
could
this,
text
'cause
him
this
really
is-
quick,
This
but
is
I know
this
he's
is
dealing with
bad.
stuff right now.
I'm 0-3 because I only had 1 week.
Yeah,
That
I
do
only
know.
have 1 point through 6 picks. Which
So I'm
is
not out of
fucking
this.
I'm 3
atrocious.
for 6
Okay.
because I hit 2 of my 3 picks the first week, win 1 for 3 last week.
I would say Zane's probably 4 or 3.
Okay, so Zane's probably 4 or 3. Jake, you're at 3.
Yes.
I am at 1. Cam is at 0.
Yeah, because I just had 1 week and last
Yeah.
week. And Jack and I, we had essentially the same card.
Right,
So-
right. Yeah, we got fucked by Will Levis, as
Levis.
Zuj called him on accident. Will Levis.
And then we missed the
Wyatt
kicking
World.
thing by 1 fucking
We'll
point.
leave us.
Yeah, the kicking thing was stupid.
Yeah.
That was bullshit.
We all
Jason
could-
Myers fucked us.
You know, to like alleviate people actually not having been involved every week, because unless we get some picks from Wags here, we could all like have a bye week at some point.
That's not a bad idea.
We can see if because Cam already missed the first week, so maybe we should just initiate that. Maybe we can make
or
Zane.
we use it as an incentive to not miss the show.
Yeah, it could be that too. So Cam, fuck off.
Yep.
Sorry,
Whoa,
no, that was a
got
little
dark.
rough. We'll get Zane's picks at some point this week, or
Yeah,
maybe he'll
we'll be
provide
fine.
us. Yeah.
But if he's winning, this is great that he missed this week because now it gives us a chance to catch back up. So, all right, let's start with you, Cam. What do you got?
We're going to start off. We have Travis Kelce over 7. Where did it go? What the fuck? Underdog's tripping.
Even though-
Travis Kelce over 78.5. Big players show up in big games. They're playing at the Bills. He just had he's gone 81, 91, 44 in his last 3, with the 44 being the furthest one out. Like I said, big players, big games. Travis Kelce over 78.5. My other 2 are Wednesday night college basketball. I'm in my element. This is where I belong. I have Jamison Battle, who we talked about, former Gopher. Ohio State plays against Miami of Ohio. Some action going on there. Over 14.5 points. Just went off for 13.5 points. Sorry, just went off for 25 against the Gophers. Why can't he do it against the Red Hawks? And then last one, Max Asmus. Remember that Oral Roberts Cinderella run?
Yeah.
That's that guy. He's now the point guard for Texas. Over 15.5 against Marquette. Fantastic game tomorrow on Wednesday night. His last 2 games is 26-23.
Okay.
I don't see any reason. He did only have 10 points against UConn, which was their last big test.
That's where it's getting set.
Yeah, but I got over 15.5 on A. Smiths.
I love that you bring up the University of Miami, Ohio, because we used to play them, or North Dakota, I think, still plays them in hockey, and it's just absolutely hilarious because so many freshmen and new people think, oh, so that's in Miami? It's like, no, it's in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger. If I went there, I just call it Miami. Yeah, I go to Miami.
There's another big name who came from there.
Miami of Ohio. I should know this. It's
hockey.
Basketball, hockey. Is it hockey?
They had a couple hockey guys. I forgot who came out of
They're
hockey.
in the NCAA.
Football, maybe. Yeah, there was a couple. I almost need to Google it because there was one prominent NHL player I think recently that came from Miami of Ohio.
Hit the Google machine, Jake.
I'm on it. It's loading. God, the fucking Wi-Fi is
Players.
It's
Um,
it's because you're both trying to Google so hard at the same time.
Ron Harper, who's a good basketball player. His son just played at
I
Rutgers.
swear it might be a football player. Or a hockey player.
I thought there was a hockey player.
Maybe it's only Big Ben. Maybe he's sitting on top of
University alumni.
Yeah, what do we got, Jake?
Miami alumni in the pros. Well, this is from.
Here we go. I went to notable thing on, trying to see here.
I'm looking
Who we got?
at this right now.
Ben Roethlisberger, Wally Zerbiak.
Oh,
yeah.
that might have been the other name I was
Yeah,
thinking
that's
of.
right. John Harbaugh.
Really?
Yep. That's about it.
Okay. So
Adam Prentice.
Yeah.
I mean, he was. Travis Prentice.
You can always make the joke about it being a gorgeous city's name that's in Florida, but it's actually in Ohio. You can always make that joke, but they can show you the notable alumni.
Two notable hockey players, actually. Dan Boyle.
Okay.
And I'm looking at Craig Fisher. I've heard of him.
Alec Martinez, actually.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. The
That's
Kings
the
guy.
one I was thinking.
That's
He just won a cup with the
Knights.
Knights.
Curtis
Yeah.
McKenzie. I recognize
They've had
that
some
name.
guys.
That's a legit
Wally
school.
Zerbiak.
Todd Roloff.
Don't-
Ryan Savage.
Don't talk shit about University of Miami, Ohio.
Yeah.
I won't. I'm
Chris
sorry.
Weidman.
Chris Weidman.
All right,
Riley
Jake,
Smith.
It's starting to thin out now.
Yeah, I know. Those are guys that a lot of people wanted. But yeah, Alex Martinez is the big one.
That's the one I was.
Alec.
That's the
That's
other
the
big
big
one I was
one.
thinking of. Wally Zerbiak
Yeah.
too, and then John Harbaugh. That's random. Okay, journalist Jake, what do you got?
So the first one I have is this has to do with the Colts. So Gardner Minshew. They take on the
Min Show.
Cincinnati. Yeah, the Min Show, the porn stash guy.
Yep.
In the long hair. He just looks like a porn guy, but he's going off right now.
Well, he doesn't look like a porn guy. He looks like a porn star.
He looks like a porn star,
Very
right? Because
different.
he's in shape and
Yeah.
he's banging the broads, So
yeah, he's got the long hair.
I'm going to take him higher than 239.5 passing yards. He's been doing fairly good as of late, so I think he's going to hit. I think he is. So we'll see what happens there. They're taking on Cincinnati. Jake Browning, who weirdly looks good, even though he looked like absolute dog shit with the Vikings. And then my second pick is DK Metcalf, higher than 63.5 receiving yards. They're playing San Francisco. I think he's going to be one of the go-to targets for Geno Smith. He had 134 yards in the last game, only 32 against San Francisco the game before that, but he did have 94 against the Rams. So he's trending to hit that. So I think he's going to do it, but being I'm picking it, probably not. And then Rashad White, higher than 60.5 rushing yards for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He has been going off as of late. He had 84 yards against Carolina, then 100 against Indianapolis the game before that. Had 30 the game before that, but he's, of course, trending in the right direction with that. I think he's going to have a big day, but who knows? None of us have been 3 for 3 yet.
No.
None of us have actually hit an underdog bit yet, but we've been close, so it's got to happen one week with all of us.
I like it. I don't like the Rashad White one as much just because that Atlanta defense is great, but you never know.
You never know.
None of us know.
Those are the ones that you're like, that you end up not picking, like, yep, it's not going to hit, and then it hits. But then now you're picking it, so it's not going to hit.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense ever.
So it doesn't make sense. But it's fun, so
Yeah.
it's a good time.
All right, I'll go last. I'm currently on the board with only 1 point of 6. Not great. This is a big week to bounce back. I have Dak higher than 279.5 passing yards versus Philly. Philly's defense is hot dog shit right now. It's not great. They got absolutely bullied by the 49ers on Sunday Night Football. Wasn't even a good game. They did just sign Shaq Leonard, which is unfortunate for me as a Colts fan that he had to sign with a fucking trash-ass fan base like Philly. Very unfortunate that he is now playing for them, but he's also, once again, unfortunately not very good anymore, so I don't think that was the best signing, especially with the amount of money you have to pay. I also am going to take Aiden O'Connell, lower than 210.5 passing yards. I believe in the Brian Flores defense, after hearing Najee here tell us that they're watching tape on celebrations. I mean, that's ultimate vibes team guy shit. So as if I wasn't already all in on Flores. I'm even more in on Flores now.
Well, it's an incentive, right? Because they probably have a celebration they want to show off.
Yeah.
So that gives them more incentive to actually turn over the ball.
They might do some of ours.
They might show off some of ours.
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for this defense more than I ever have in my entire life. So I need Aiden O'Connell to get throat fucked by the Vikings defense. So that we
get throat fucked.
So that we can see our touchdown celebration on national TV. Like I said, that would be the best day of our lives. And we're going to close it out with Bijan Robinson higher than 59.5 rushing yards. I know he had a pretty horrid game last week against the Jets, but he's had some great games this season. I mean, the Falcons are at that point where it's like, why not just run him the ball? Give him some more reps. He'll get there. I think 59.5 is doable. He's had plenty of games prior at that.
Arthur Smith is finally starting to pull his head out of his ass and use him.
Yeah,
Art Smith.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
Bijan Robinson is out of the doghouse. Apparently, everyone was saying he was in the doghouse.
Arthur Smith is so gone, by the way.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You have Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson, and they both have not been good.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Well,
literally
according to
your fault.
Wyatt World, though, Desmond Ritter's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's ass. I don't care what he does in that game or this game or how he comes back. He's still
Wyatt
ass.
World.
Yeah.
Wyatt World.
Wyatt World, according to Zooch.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens there. So once again, if you want to either ride or fade these picks or just look at plenty of other ones, use promo code 10K10K, underdogfantasy.com. I think it's a minimum of a $10 deposit. They double your first deposit up to $100. That's free play. It's a super awesome app, so make sure to check them out, underdogfantasy.com or the Underdog app. All right, let's close out the show with our bits of the week, our signature jokes, our funny bits. We'll start on this side of the room. Journalist Jake, what do you got this week?
I have the PGA mini golf bit. This is where you approach mini golf in a very entertaining, laid-back environment. People are just there to drink and have fun, and you approach it like you're on the damn golf course. Even on a regular recreational golf course, you shouldn't even be approaching it like you're on the PGA, but it's even more funny when you're approaching it like you are on the PGA Tour, and you're starting to read the putts. That's a big example of this. A big example of doing the PGA mini golf bit is we were at Puttery in Minneapolis on Friday night. It was Wags' girlfriend's birthday, and we were out there, and I was told to read the putt, and I decided to read the putt on one of the holes. I think it was like hole 4 or hole 5 on the first course they have there. And didn't help me.
No.
But it's just kind of funny, bending down almost on one knee, trying to read the putt in front of a bunch of people waiting for you. People are drinking casuals, a lot of bouginess going on down there in the North Loop, and I'm just bending down to read a putt on a already stationary hole.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they have a video on it, I think, on our Twitter, so it's on there. But yeah, approaching mini golf like it's a professional game. I mean, that's how you got to approach it if you want to win at anything. So
everyone sees that at the mini golf place and is like, that guy's an asshole.
yeah,
Yeah, I hate him.
and it was
What does he
hilarious.
what does he think? This is the Meadows?
Yeah, I should have did it like every hole. Or you start approaching like a putt, like you're going up, like you're gonna get your first birdie of the summer or your only birdie of the summer, in rec golf, and you approach the putt, you're looking at it, and you line up with it with your putter and try to use the same technique you do when you're putting and everything at mini golf. It's so funny.
And then you just
gotta
scream when you get a birdie or a
Yep.
hole in one.
Yep, exactly.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, you got to just fucking lose it.
Oh, I did get a hole in one. I think a lot of us did, but I got it on a particular hole where I would not have expected it, and I think I just screamed, "You like that?"
Well, the funniest thing about the puttery putters are they actually have the back cavity side to it.
They're actually
which,
nice.
Which means you can flip the ball up.
Yeah.
So there were
Yeah.
times where, you had to go all the way around this whole entire thing, and I would just flick the ball over the entire thing, and I just get a 2. And someone would be like, "Oh, that's fucking cheating." I'm like, "No, it's not. The putter comes equipped with this. I'm going to use it."
Did you actually count it like that?
Fuck yeah, I did.
started doing that too because I'm like, "This
Show
is
me
too
the
hard."
rules of mini golf.
Yeah, where's the rules and regulations, particularly of this puttery place that says I can't flip the ball up over the things or
Yeah.
whatever? I guess it's like maybe within each group, but if there's nothing that's set in stone,
I remember
I don't know.
Last May when we played golf against Tanner Morgan and Mariano, the Gopher football players. I remember I picked up a putt and flipped it in my hand like that, and Tanner was like, "Damn, that was smooth." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a guy who picks up a lot of putts because I suck at it." So that's where, I always knew it was going to come in handy eventually, other than just impressing D1 football players. But now it's to the point where I can use it to my advantage in mini golf.
I know.
So.
It was fun. I was just thinking, like, no one did this bit at mini golf. The next time, if we do play there, we should do, like, the gimme bit out there. Like, if it's, like, 6 yards. I feel like a 6-footer.
Just pick it up yourself. The circle of friendship.
Yeah, a 6-footer in mini golf is probably not as easy to putt because sometimes there's, like, weird structures around the holes in those mini golf courses. So I'm going to pick it up. Yeah, it's a gimme. I'll pick it up.
That's a Bubba move.
Oh gosh,
they had screens at the tee box. By the way, really cool place, Puttery. They had people walking around asking you if you need a drink. Like they have servers for you on the course, which is pretty cool.
Gosh.
But they have these screens that you keep score on that are located at the tee box. And we were playing behind Jake and Zane, and Jake would be still putting like way at the other end of the room, finishing up the hole, and we would enter the max score for Jake all the time.
A 6, and I'm like, I got a fucking 2, and at one point we couldn't change it, and I'm like, fuck you guys.
So Jake is like 100 over par because he would walk away and we'd automatically enter a
And I'm trying to
like
tap the screen, and in reality, I'm like, fuck this.
It's like the U-Haul bit.
And then all over the place they have these TVs with everyone's current score, and it shows Jake at the bottom at plus 20.
And you're like, oh, Jake, you're not doing very well. I'm like, fuck you guys. That's completely, like, that's inflated.
Yeah.
But it was funny. It's a good spot. It's fun.
All right, Cam, what do you got?
Sticking on the topic of golf, I have the winter golf bit or the December golf bit. On last Saturday, I went and played golf in Minnesota in December at Stonebrook. It was nice enough. They had a shotgun start at 11:30. I went with my brother and a couple other guys, and it was a blast. Like, none of us were sweating. The weather wasn't that bad. I hit a golf ball off a frozen lake onto an actual hole. Just December golf. You could when could you ever think that would be a possibility?
I've only done it a few times in my life, but it's cool that you can do it. I think it's going to be even warmer this weekend, right?
It's supposed to warm up a little bit.
Yeah, they're probably gonna keep doing it.
Yeah,
that's just
My
insane to
sources
me.
do say.
It just sounds so weird. I feel like it'd be fun, but like I'm a person that wants to get a little better every time I play, and I feel like I can't play well in the cold.
Oh, it's way better.
It's harder because the ball doesn't fly as far. The ground is hard, so everything rolls a lot more. If you're someone who relies on spin and landing it at the green, you have to kind of run everything up because the ground is frozen.
Yeah,
and I feel like
doesn't it hurt your hands every shot? That's the thing I hate. I can't take a divot and it fucking hurts my hands.
I feel like my muscles get more stiff like after because it's so cold, and I'll I don't know, like I'm not as warm you exert so much power when you in motion when you're going through with the golf ball or driving through it that I feel like when it's that cold my muscles get more stiff, and then I don't have any technique.
It didn't hurt my hands at all. I actually, when it comes to, I found out when it comes to golf and then softball too, I always play better in the cold. For some reason. I don't know what it is, but I love playing in the cold.
I mean, I certainly don't hate it. The only thing I don't like about it is how the ball does not fly as far. And how I can never hit it clean.
I feel like I already struggle with hitting it clean sometimes. So I feel like when the grass isn't like you don't have like that loft under the ball you can get or like get enough
plushness.
That plush I struggle.
You want to talk about a ball flying far? When we played in Denver, I felt like fucking Bryson DeChambeau because the ball just flies there.
Yeah, that's like great. In Arizona too because the air is so dry.
Yeah, like Denver, the elevation is fucking insane.
Yeah,
it was great. But no, December golf, it's a good bit, and I would love to do it every year.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's great that we're able to do that in December because I think at this point last year we already had a good amount of snow.
Yeah, I asked her. She said they shut down right after Halloween.
Yeah, because we had snow on Thanksgiving last year, right?
Yep,
I think so.
I think we had like a lot by then.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was a great snowmobiling year.
Yeah.
So if I can't have snowmobiling this early, I'll take December.
Give me golf.
I'm gonna golf.
Just don't give us that shit in the middle where there's no snow but it's cold.
Yeah,
that's the worst. That's the worst. All right, I was actually gonna do a bit on a blog that I'm about to write, but I kind of want to leave it to that. I don't want to spoil it. I'll just say the name of the bit. I'm not gonna give my submissions, but it's the Name Your Snowplow bit. So every year the Minnesota Department of Transportation runs a little contest where people can come up with creative names for snowplows, and there's a voting system, and whichever snowplows get like the most amount of votes are what they name the snowplow. I don't know if there's labels they put on them. I don't know if this whole thing is just kind of like a bit, but I came up with 5 really good ones that I'm going to submit, all Minnesota sports related. It's going to be on a blog that might already be out by the time this podcast comes out, 10ktakesmn.com. The only thing that sucks is rule number 1 is no vulgar No vulgar names. I couldn't do plow me or I want to plow you, unfortunately. But some of these ones are really creative. I think you guys would like them. But like I said, I don't want to give it away. My honorable mention bit is going to go back to the hockey guy bit. We're all signed up to play a pickup game together on Friday. Journalist Jake, myself, and producer Cam. Journalist Jake and myself will be a net. Cam will be a skater. I think this is the first time all three of us have played together.
It has. In like more, I mean, we've been on like obviously just like pick up like on a outdoor ice sheet once in a while, but like in more organized, it's like an organized scrimmage essentially
at an actual rink.
So it's at Minnesota Made at 9:40. So if you want to show up with a bunch of boozers and
or crack or fentanyl
as well, I mean, we'll partake pregame.
Way too much fentanyl content in this podcast.
Hey, we don't condone it.
We don't judge though,
but we also teach.
We don't condone it.
I am very excited. I'm definitely going to be the worst player on the ice, but that's fine. I'm just trying to sharpen my skills and get better.
I think Cam might score on me.
I am that's what I'm most excited for. I want to score on one of you.
So Jake hasn't watched Cam play since the first ever game that we played at Bloomington back in April. You've only heard tidbits of
Jack. Is there improvement?
I certainly do think there's improvement.
There better be.
I'm excited, but you know how Jake is with you. He's not going to let you have anything.
If I don't see your knees bending, I will be screaming.
Okay.
So,
and if you're not stopping, you need to learn how to stop.
I need your help.
Cam, we've been trying to tell you to stop since June.
Hold my hips and stop with me.
I'll literally do that right before the game. We'll go out there early. I'll give up my stretch time.
Titanic it on the ice.
Yeah, honestly.
I need you to.
I think you just need to do it. I think
wrap
you're
your arms
scared
around
of
my
falling.
body and let me fall.
I think you subconsciously know how to do it. You're just scared of falling, which is what's going to happen. So you just got to do it.
I'm not
This is
scared
a
to admit
pickup
it.
game. This is a time to fall.
Yeah, you just do it. Just try to stop. This is where you work on shit.
Yeah.
Okay?
This is the lab. We will update you guys how it goes
Yeah.
early next week.
I just want to score one.
Over under 10.5
Next
goals.
week's episode.
I just want to score on you guys once. I don't know why.
Yeah?
Just do.
Well,
Then do it.
Take Jake's glove side. You might get one in there.
I might
Jake, yeah, but then it's the opposite with you. I'd have to take you blocker, right?
Yeah.
Because your glove is pristine.
Yeah.
I think I might just let one in for a Cam.
You fucking better not.
I'm going to sit there and then I'm going to like step aside and just let him in.
I would actually probably fight you.
That's going to be the Make-A-Wish bit part 2.
I would be so pissed. Don't let me score.
I honestly think, but this is why I think you're going to score on me, and like because what's going to happen, and like no offense, with more inexperienced players, what sometimes happens is they try to shoot it really hard and they'll like fan on it. So in a way, it's like a pump fake. I'll react, and then all of a sudden, like maybe I'll allow something on my side to be open, or you'll deflect it weird.
I can raise the puck now.
Okay,
that's why those lower level skates as a goalie are even harder for
sometimes
me.
It is
because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
You react too quick.
Yeah,
I noticed that. Sometimes.
I can pretty consistently raise it, but sometimes it will like just end up on the like just flat on the ice, and that actually works.
Hey, no, honestly, because like if you pump fake and you are intending to actually go upper shelf, and I'm watching your eyes, but you fan on it, and it slides on the ice, and I leave one little part of my pad open, thinking you're going glove side.
You're not going to be able to watch my eyes, Jake. I'm a fucking bender. I look at the ice the whole time.
Okay, well then you might not.
I might score because I'm
score.
I might because I'm.
I think
you have nowhere to look.
I think you need to just learn how to fucking stop. That's a goal. I want you stopping by the end of that 90 minutes.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah, seriously.
Can we go to Dairy Queen if I stop?
Yeah.
If you're not going to stop, Jake's going to make you stop.
Jake,
make you stop.
How about this?
I'm going to be yelling at you.
If I'm consistently stopping by the end of the session, you buy all my beers at the bar.
Whoa.
As a prize.
How about your first 2?
Yeah, my first 2.
I'll buy one round on you.
I'll buy one round for you too.
All right.
We'll buy a round so you get 2 beers.
I need you to see I need you to be going full speed and attempting to stop.
Yeah,
not like a cute little
like
2 strides and then like turn your hips a little.
So
bit.
is it an
then he's
attempt
like
or-
spinning. I stopped.
Actually,
I have
no.
to be successful.
Yeah.
Actually, the only way we'll know if he's successful in trying is if he falls. So
Yeah.
if you try and you fall, then Jake and I will each buy you a beer.
Oh, I don't have to.
We'll,
Okay.
we'll judge and be like, okay, he tried, he put in effort at least, but we got to see like full skating.
I need to see full
and,
commitment.
and like your hips turn and you literally try to stop.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm on it.
Deal.
I don't want you just falling. No, I tried to stop there. No, Cam, you just ran into the boards.
I got him at a 5/8 now. I feel more control.
Made the adjustment.
Should be
So
okay.
then there you go. You're already there.
Yeah.
Almost there.
I'm gonna do it.
We'll give you an update early next week on the episode.
We have a
how
lot
it
of
goes.
updates to
Unless
give
you
next
wanted to
week.
just
There's gonna
show
be a lot
up.
of
We
updates.
should write this down.
Minnesota made in Edina.
Minnesota made.
9:40.
You could see it yourself tomorrow
On
if you
Friday.
if you have nothing else going on a Friday night that you want to watch three guys playing a pickup game.
We're all gonna go to the bar smelling like a locker room.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're
I
down
just
with
thought
that,
of that.
Yep.
you might be down with that.
I might have to shower there.
I
You
don't
have
ever
to
shower. I don't do
That's
that.
a hard move.
I just bring
is a hard move.
extra, clothes, underwear.
Yeah.
And
Well, you
stuff.
should.
And then you walk outside, and it like
Bring a
freezes
deodorant.
the smell off of you.
Yeah, I just bring a deodorant stick
Till
and
you
it's
get
fine.
home.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
All right. That just about does it for another episode of It's a Bit, folks. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to go to 10ktakesmn.com, read all the blogs, including my snowplow blog. That's going to be a good one. You're going to like that one. Also, make sure to go to the Listen tab, listen to all the other podcasts on the network. We have Viking Show, Wild Show. We have General NFL. We have, what's the one I'm missing? No, that's it. And then us.
Yeah, State of School, Third and Forever.
10K bets.
10K bets. That's the one I was thinking.
Wild
of.
Takes.
Betting show, the Wild Takes. Also, make sure to use Underdog Fantasy promo code 10K10K at sign up to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Follow us on all socials. 10K Takes. Thank you, folks, so much for listening to another episode of It's a Bit presented by 10,000 Takes. We'll see you next time.